Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Still be mindful of this extended and prolonged flood watch that includes most of the state, near and over and west of Appalachia generally. Near and west of the mountains, we'll have a lot of flood watches as we're watching for potentially some heavy and excessive rain, flooding, flash flooding, stream river flooding, all a possibility, all until 8 a.m. Sunday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. And I wanted to zoom out the extent of all those flood watches in the dark green. And earlier this morning, southeast Missouri, they had some flash flood warnings and one flash flood emergency last night and this morning. It appears either last night or within the last 24 hours in there, anywhere from a half a foot to a foot of rain fell. And there's still some additional rain out there occurring this morning in Missouri. Now, there will be some heavy moisture in this slowly moving front traveling south-southeast stationary at times, so still multiple days of some heavy and excessive rain, locally higher amounts, and Storm Prediction Center still including some northeast and southern areas and a marginal risk for isolated damaging winds with any possible storms today. Had a high of 83 yesterday in Charleston, just over a half-inch of rain yesterday, so we added more rain. And I'll watch for that risk of excessive rain for some isolated to scattered flash flooding possibilities today and tonight, and some isolated damaging winds. Fly-saver forecast, it starts at home. Areas to our southeast, the coastal Carolinas and down to Florida, still in the middle of a heat wave down there. For us, as we look ahead over the next 7 days, again today, Saturday, Sunday, flood watch until 8 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, we trend drier as some high pressure finally starts to work in and we kick out that slowly moving front, so be mindful of flooding potential through the weekend. As we dry out, we'll warm up a bit. Highs potentially approaching 90 around there middle of next week. Have us near the big 90 on Wednesday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. For your entertainment, Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Or call 800-765-8255. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right. Hello, West Virginia. We're back for more in the 304. Time to get it done in the 681. Time to start this 3-hour audio tour for Friday, July 10th, 2026. Metro News Hotline. Metro News Hotline comes to you from the Salango Law Studios. Visit salangolaw.com. Little rain off and on today here in Charleston. Well, it was raining to beat the band in South Charleston earlier today. Right now, outside, about 78 degrees, about 78 as we operate out of our flagship 580 WCHS here in Charleston. 1 block down from Charleston Catholic High School. We're on the right. We're on the right. So, give us a wave if you're heading downtown today. Coop, I'm going to guess, well, I'm not going to assume because you know what that says about people, but I'm going to guess you didn't get your walk in today.
No, I've been busy this week. I got a lot of stuff that I've been crossing off the old that's been on that list that in my list management system, I have this list over to the left that's all the things. It's like, I'll get to that later. Things that I depreciated over time. This has been the week of clearing that column off, and it has been nice. Some stuff.
So you're getting some stuff done.
Yeah, some fundamental stuff, under the hood stuff around the stations here, some administrative work I needed to get done, some paperwork, just some nice stuff that I really was able to focus in on this week. So I've taken every spare moment this week to really get caught up on that kind of thing, and it feels really good. I feel like I've made a lot of progress with some of that stuff.
So when you do that or you make your plans to do that, You're a list maker, aren't you?
I am. I have columns and lists, and yes, very much so.
Man, I don't make any lists.
Oh, I couldn't live without my list, and it's not because I'm pretty good at it now, but it's not because of any elite original idea I had. I literally had to start doing that, or I would forget what I do. I mean, even like Ryan and folks that work for me know that generally speaking, if I say that, hey, it made it to the list, it's going to get done. But until they badger me to the point where I'm like, okay, it made it to the list, it's kind of a coin flip.
Is Ryan on the list?
Brian used to be on the list, but Ryan is self-sufficient these days,
I know.
so I don't have to worry about giving him daily direction too much.
Well, you just don't want to be on Ryan. You just don't want to be on Coops.
No, my list is not a bad. It's not a
quote
bad
list.
It's
You
a
don't want to
good
be on the
list.
list. Now, did you make it home to feed the dog today, Ryan?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I took him on a walk.
And you took him on a walk despite the rain.
I did it before the rain.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. You did it before.
Is there such a
the
thing as a pleasant rain?
rain?
Because I kind of felt like today. I hope nobody's suffering flooding or anything like that. As far as I'm aware of in our area here, anywhere there's not. But I thought it was kind of nice today. Like it wasn't super hot. The times that it rained hard, of course, you didn't want it to rain on you. But there's been a lot of like just sort of misty, just cloudy and wind blowy kind of moments. That's just been kind of nice.
How far do you go with your dog on a walk at noon?
I usually just walk him around the block.
Oh, that's cool. So he can do his business, that kind of thing.
I've got there's an alleyway right next to my house, and I just go around the block until I reach the other side of the alleyway, then cross that.
So your fam's in the restaurant business. Does your dog eat well?
He eats dog food.
He eats dog food. He doesn't get scraps from like the restaurant?
No, because that's not dogs. Dogs aren't supposed to eat human food, Dave.
Like he's smiling like a butcher's dog. You know that you've ever heard that phrase?
No.
One could infer, basically, the meaning behind it.
That's right.
What is this? The Middle Ages?
World Cup, Spain, Belgium going at it now. 10th minute, no score. Belgium.
I forgot they were playing. That's right.
They're playing right now. So Belgium's the team that knocked out the United States. I'm not over it. I'm still kind of not over it.
Over what?
I'm not over the United States going out the way they did,
right.
in the World Cup.
But wait, they got like fully eliminated?
Yeah, they're like Dunzo.
Oh,
Dunzo.
that sucks.
Agreed.
That hasn't stalled out soccer taking over everything, though, right? I mean, it's still taking over everything.
I tell you
we'll talk just as much about soccer in the next 4 years as we do when the next World Cup comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I just mean every year I hear about how it's talking over, and it's always 4 years until we talk about it.
You know what was
again.
amazing? We had this conversation a couple of days ago, and I thought about it. A couple of years ago, if there was a team in the MLS that averaged more average fans than a Major League Baseball team, that was news. Okay? That's really not news anymore. That's not news anymore. Because just kind of like every other part of society, sports fans are kind of fragmented now, right? You've got your group of people who are fascinated for the most part by the NFL and then the other major sports. But I mean, all of the soccer fans that are in towns where there are MLS franchises, they go to games.
Yeah, it's true.
They go to games.
Baseball is always a bad analog because there's 81 home games a year.
That's true. That's true. And the other thing was, remember when Major League Soccer began, they would be playing those matches in in gigantic football stadiums, right? So when you would see a game, it'd be like, hey,
now there's
nobody
MLS
at the game.
stadiums. Yeah, they look a lot nicer, places that
Yeah.
are made for soccer.
Yeah.
Definitely so. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no question. They don't look like those summer football league games
Yeah.
anymore.
But you know what? I guess I'm just kind of a prisoner of the moment. I am really enjoying these games like every day. It's kind of the rhythm that we get into at the baseball season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were jonesing on Wednesday afternoon. Like, where's the games?
I know. Yeah.
Wednesday afternoon is usually getaway day.
Easily
Where
my
are the
least favorite thing
games?
about the All-Star break is just no games.
Oh, and the All-Star break is next week.
Yep.
The All-Star break is next week. So we've got, I've got time, and I don't want to waste my time with Ryan doesn't want to hear me rant about my annual rant about the Futures game and where they play it, they play it, so I'm going to spare you that.
It is true, though.
Yeah, but it is true. Like I said, I'm going to save that
Wasted
rant.
opportunity.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that now. But we do have days next week where it's going to be like cold turkey.
Yeah, no baseball,
right?
man. Yeah.
So we'll hammer through the All-Star home run derby day, and then we'll go to the actual game itself. and then it'll be kind of a desert for a couple of days. Man, how are we going to handle this when they have a walkout next year?
Well, we'll have to dip into some of our COVID era tricks and find highlights from other eras to play. You know,
so true.
So we'll do highlights from other eras.
I got to tell you, sometimes I go back to some of those scripts from the before times in the COVID era. The stuff that we were talking about, like, will you go to games if they ever come back?
I mean, we did several features on Korean baseball.
Oh, are you watching NASCAR?
Yeah, right.
That kind of stuff. It's like, oh man, that was the worst.
Oh man,
that was the worst.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But you know what? We put in hundreds of hours during that time when a lot of other people weren't working.
Yeah, that's true. Ryan, have you got your buy or sell?
Yes.
Coop, you got your buy or sell?
Yeah, man, I'm ready.
What about is Matt Guitar Murphy back?
He's here. I'm assuming it's on his list.
So we're
talking
at
about
full
lists.
strength?
So yeah, he should be in here.
All right, that's good. You know, we were talking about the rain. Dave Allen's really funny about this, and he's absolutely right. Anytime you have a conversation about the rain,
man, he's going to want to promo that. Dave Allen is funny and absolutely right. Man, that's a phrase that's never been mentioned before.
But he is right about this. That in the conversation, somebody just to be part of the conversation amongst the meat sticks would say something like, "We need the rain." We need the rain. Of course, we need the rain.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things.
We need the rain.
That's like one of those things. How hot is it? And all those things. I always think of. I think I've mentioned this before. This is only tangentially related, but I still think about I think about the poor mom that's like in the French Quarter down in New Orleans, and how often in their life they've had to hear, "Well, a mom is a terrible thing to waste."
Oh, that's so true.
I mean, it's got to be in the millions.
That's so true. Did you see what our question of the day is today?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ryan, you can weigh in on this. Do you expect me, after 13 years on this show, to have an original question of the day every single day?
No.
Thank you.
But it's not because
Thank you.
It's not because you're human. It's because I have low standards for you.
That's fair.
Also,
enough.
ironically, that would have been an original question of the day.
Yeah.
That's probably right. Coop, what question of the day over the last 13 years do you think we've asked the most?
Something to do with food, probably.
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing today.
Best place to get a hot dog is maybe one of our all-time burners.
I know, yeah, that's always good. But today is National French Fry Day.
Oh, well, that's going to be very good, too.
So the question of the day...
Did you bring samples?
No, I didn't bring anything.
The question is, can someone bring us samples?
That's the bigger question right
Yes.
there. So the question of the day today is going to be about National French Fry Day.
I like it. I saw that.
Well, you should like it because I think it's like the 10th anniversary of this question.
And if you don't like it, we do have an alternate question of the day that we can propose.
What is it?
Well, it's the question of the day. Could you give us the sounder, please?
Geez.
Oh,
man,
nice.
I didn't know I was going to have to do production for a bit here. Okay, hold on. I guess I should have been ready for it anyway.
That's why we need pre-production.
Yeah, I mean, who needs production?
There you go.
Question of the day, courtesy of Ryan Nicholson.
From the desk
of Ryan.
Yes, if you don't like Dave's question of the day, feel free to answer my question of the day. Question of the day. What country artist do you think could score a goal in the World Cup?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Well, would it be a country music artist with like the biggest head? Like head that bad boy in there?
Or maybe the biggest foot.
Or the biggest foot.
The biggest hat, maybe.
Or Ferlin Husky, Ernest Tubb, Johnny Cash. Now, Johnny Cash is a pretty physically imposing figure, right?
Yeah, I don't know about a soccer player, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Do you want to know where I got this question from?
No, where did you get that?
So I was having a conversation with Alex Thomas the other day.
Okay.
And we were texting back and forth because he's in D.C. So he showed me some pictures of the America 250 celebration there. And I don't want to get like too political here, but he sent me a picture of like a country band on stage, and behind it, the stage did not have a backdrop. So you could see just behind the band, it said FIFA Fan Center. And I was just like,
Nice.
And I'm just like, what's the intersection of country fans and soccer fans? That's got to be pretty slim. and so he texted me
You
back,
don't know that.
and he texted me back like, hey, here's a question of the day for you. What country artist can hit a goal at the World Cup?
That's a pretty good question.
Brad Paisley seems like he could probably get out there.
Yeah,
and kick the goal.
pretty. What about somebody like Conway Twitty? I mean, with that his big head.
Is he
you know?
alive?
No, he's not alive. But I mean, Ernest Tubb's not alive either.
Yeah,
or
that's
Johnny
true.
Cash isn't alive either.
Yeah, I guess
But I'm
he was
using
just one
those
of
guys.
all the dead guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
When he kicked him on, be like, "Hello, darling."
I just got a text from Chris Lawrence. He says Riley Green.
Right. Oh, good call.
at
Good
that.
call.
Why's Chris texting Ryan? What?
Because I proposed the question.
How about somebody like Garth Brooks? Doesn't Garth Brooks and his
He was a quarterback or something, right?
well, yeah, he played a little sports. Remember when he tried to go to spring training with either the Mets or the Padres, and that didn't really
He
work
was trying to
out.
Michael Jordan it, wasn't
But
he?
he kind of has like a messy vibe. You know.
I've got one.
Stephanie in the box is joining us. Stephanie, what do you got?
My guess would be Dolly Parton.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not sure if she could do the head thing because with that wig, it might just go willy-nilly if you bounce it off of there.
That's true. All kinds of things would happen if she tried to bop that thing into the goal. What a good question. What a good
We've gotten
question.
more run out of that.
Yeah.
Well,
We've gotten a lot of run out of it.
we've
What was
had-
your question of the day? I can't even
Oh,
remember
the
now.
question of the day is about French fries.
Yeah, right.
All
Okay, right.
Yeah, it's
Play
fine.
the sounder again, please.
Option number 2 for question of the day.
No, mine was option number 2.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the original.
But how does yours went first though?
Yeah.
Because I was
Yeah, so
assertive.
when you answer the question of the day, put 1 for Dave's question and then your answer, or 2.
Yeah, press 1.
for
It might be
Ryan's
funnier just to
question
try to figure it
and
out.
answer.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Or that too. Just let us guess.
Oh my goodness! So yeah, this is the National French Fry Day. By the way, there's a constant kerfuffle between France and Belgium about who actually invented French fries. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question of the day is,
I mean, I would say Americans.
well, there you go. So the question of the day is, which fast food place has the best French fries? And secondarily, now see that when we got a little bit more confidence in the show, this is when we got a little spicier.
Oh,
And we
yeah,
got
right,
a little
right.
edge to
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
So which fast food fries are overrated?
Yeah.
Ooh. So there you go. Which fast food place has got the best fries, and which fast food joint, their fries, are they overrated? All right, Jeff Jenkins is here. So, Jeff, you're here and Coop's here. I wanted to ask you, there's been a lot of discussion about what went down at the end of the Reds game last night. So, in that game, Reds are down 1-0, bottom of the 9th inning, 2 runners on, nobody out, and Suarez is at the plate. Do you let him hit away? Do you try to bunt the runner down to third base where he can score in a variety of ways? There's been a lot of discussion about that since the game ended. What do you pinch hit for him because he hasn't bunted since like 2015?
I mean, a week ago he hit a 3-run home run to win the game.
Well, but that's
why,
not what happened.
But that's why you signed him for $15 million.
Yeah.
$15 million.
Yeah.
So he hit a home run.
Yeah, and the runner in second base that would potentially tie the game is already in scoring position.
Yeah, I don't like bunting with 0 outs. I don't like giving away an out, especially the Reds. As we found out very quickly, outs are a premium for the Reds. Would things have gone differently if Gino would have tried to get the bunt over, even if he succeeded?
Then
I
you'd
mean,
be hearing, why did you pay him $15 million
Yeah, to
for
bunt.
Yeah.
bunting?
and or to pinch hit for him or whatever. And
Yeah.
and for the Reds, the worst hitting team in baseball, by the way, outs are the premium thing for the Reds. The outs are the most valuable thing that the Reds have, and to give one away for free, I think, is folly.
By the way, Key Brian Hayes is back.
Oh, there's a lot of
So
outs.
he's back.
There's an automatic out.
And he's back, and Matt McClain is on the DL, the
Now-
quote-unquote IL,
Calf injury.
calf injury.
Did they exchange injuries?
I don't know.
Is that how that worked out?
So what do you think? Is this it from? Does McClain come back, or does he go to the minor leagues?
The
Or
Reds
what
don't
do
have
you
many options, so he's probably going to be back just because he's major league ready. Well, is he out of options? Is that his deal?
Oh, I
he's
don't
not-
know.
I don't know. He's not out of
No.
He can't be yet, right? So they're going to be bringing him, just like T.J. Friedel. They bounced him, but it's not like T.J. Friedel went down to the AAA and was tearing things up. It's just he has options, and the Reds don't have very many major league ready players.
I think he'll get well. I mean, whatever, and then he'll go and he'll go to AAA for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, they got Steer in center field tonight, guys.
that's crazy.
Was that right? Oh, I didn't
Crazy
see the
talk.
lineup.
Yeah.
Wow,
Crazy talk.
wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Man, really? Has he ever played center field before?
No, man. I mean,
Steer's a great guy, but I don't think he should.
Yeah,
be
man.
at
Hey,
I mean,
you know what? What do you think about this? I mean, unless something dramatic happens in the next couple of weeks, they're sellers, right? So is this a showcase that proves that Steer can
I think
play
Steer's
center field?
probably got to be top at the list of guys that you're probably.
Well, how much value did Singer gain last night?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Singer's going to be.
Well,
one of the guys.
Singer's gained value. I mean, he's gained value over the last 6 weeks. I mean, he's really been, I've given him a hard time, but because he's been pitching better, and I feel like kind of the superstition there. But he's actually been one of their better pitchers in the last few weeks.
Just the thing about the Suarez thing last night, sometimes a team that is going in the wrong direction, the manager makes the right decision, right? It just doesn't work out. Because I think that was the right call. You guys are absolutely right. You're paying the guy $15 million a year to be in that particular spot. Now, he may be going through the worst year of his career, but still, you can't pitch hit for him, and you can't really bunt him. You got to let him hit away.
I kind of feel like the bunter discourse is Cincinnati Booth broadcaster brain, to be honest with you, because those guys are obsessed with bunting everybody all the time, which sometimes you need to. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's an ineffective tool, because sometimes you need it. But, man, those guys want everybody to bunt because T.J. Friedel's really good at it, I think.
Well, this just in. There are tons of major league hitters who can't bunt.
Anymore, yeah, that's definitely
They just
true.
can't do it.
It is a tool that you should have, and you should be able to deploy it when it's necessary in a game, but that's not when you're number 5 hitter who is one of your franchise's all-time home run hitters is at the plate. I just don't think you bunt with that guy.
Hey, Jeff, what do you got in the news? What's happening in West Virginia
Well, it's
today?
been a tragic day, Dave, here in the state. The Waco oil and gas pilot crashed, was in the helicopter that crashed today. Leo Basile, he's from Arthurdale, 57 years old. He's the pilot for Waco oil and gas, of course, owned by Ike Morris. And he crashed the helicopter there in Pocahontas County near the Ike Morris property there. There's annually a gathering there at this time of year in Huntersville in Pocahontas County. And so the crash happened today, took his life. He was the only one on board. NTSB will be in the next day or so to start an investigation into that crash. Also, there was an officer-involved shooting in Preston County. Still waiting on information on that. And, Dave, we've been going over this Harrison County thing, right, with the school system. Harrison County Board President says he's, quote, completely shocked by the state partially taking over the system.
Hey, you think some people don't like the job they have? How about those guys in South Charleston today that had to work to clean up that trash truck that flipped over?
On its side.
On its side. What a mess.
In front of the Wendy's.
In front of right under the Wendy's sign. In the rain, you got to clean that up.
Yep.
That's just awful. Jeff, thank you.
Okay.
Let's take a break. We'll come back with more in just a moment. Stay tuned.
I was proud to be a soldier.
I told the truth.
Stay ahead of West Virginia weather with Metro News Television. Now bringing you a new way to stay informed across the Mountain State. Get updates daily at 9, noon, and 4. From headlines and precipitation to severe weather threats and highs and lows. See conditions from panhandle to panhandle and check travel with the Fly CRW forecast. Our meteorologists are on your screens and on Talkline, Midday, Hotline, and Sportsline, keeping you up to date. Metro News Television weather. Accurate, local, and always on.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better. and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Still be mindful of this extended and prolonged flood watch that includes most of the state, near and over and west of Appalachia generally. Near and west of the mountains, we'll have a lot of flood watches as we're watching for potentially some heavy and excessive rain, flooding, flash flooding, stream river flooding, all a possibility, all until 8 a.m. Sunday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. And I wanted to zoom out the extent of all those flood watches in the dark green. And earlier this morning, southeast Missouri, they had some flash flood warnings and one flash flood emergency last night and this morning. It appears either last night or within the last 24 hours in there, anywhere from a half a foot to a foot of rain fell, and there's still some additional rain out there occurring this morning in Missouri. Now, there will be some heavy moisture in this slowly moving front traveling south-southeast stationary at times, so still multiple days of some heavy and excessive rain, locally higher amounts, and Storm Prediction Center still including some northeast and southern areas and a marginal risk for isolated damaging winds with any possible storms today. Had a high of 83 yesterday in Charleston, just over a half-inch of rain yesterday, so we added more rain. And I'll watch for that risk of excessive rain for some isolated to scattered flash flooding possibilities today and tonight, and some isolated damaging winds. Fly-saver forecast, it starts at home. Areas to our southeast, the coastal Carolinas and down to Florida, still in the middle of a heat wave down there. For us, as we look ahead over the next 7 days, again today, Saturday, Sunday, flood watch until 8 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, we trend drier as some high pressure finally starts to work in and we kick out that slowly moving front. So be mindful of flooding potential through the weekend. As we dry out, we'll warm up a bit. Highs potentially approaching 90 around there middle of next week. Have us near the big 90 on Wednesday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
On the next State of Minds.
We cook West Virginian food is how we like to phrase it.
I knew that every time I would hear a story, and I would hear the same story, but it never got old, about what this meant to the family and how it was served and how special it was to be put on the table.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me too.
a great point.
Join
Yeah.
Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. We will get into the question of the day here in just a moment. Sound of Sports. Oh, follow-up file today is a banger. It's a cracker. We'll get that going today around 3:50-ish or so. Buy or sell. We've all got our topics. We'll do that at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. Hashtag Beer Friday with Pat Strader. Need it absolutely on the program today. We'll do that in about an hour. Brad Howe is not on the show today. He's been out for the last couple of weeks. But Coop, you know who's coming in on our relatively deep bench for the program?
Who we got?
Second consecutive week. Jed Drenning's going to be here.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about Mountaineer running backs a little bit. So
Nice.
that'll be at the 5 o'clock hour. Aristotle Jones will be here with Sounds Good West Virginia. That's at 5:33. We'll play in or out and have a bunch of other stuff we'll be doing. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. Coop, what is your opinion? Now, I drag you kind of kicking and screaming a little bit into my fantasy sports obsession, right? So you're in our fantasy baseball leagues. You participate in both of them.
Yeah.
And you're the commissioner.
I'm not the most engaged guy, but yeah, I'm there.
And you do the NFL as well. You do the NFL as well. We should have talked about this yesterday when it got rolled out, but I kind of did a deep dive on it last night, and I've got a Twitter poll about it out there today. What is your take on the news that Yahoo is going to have college football, fantasy football this year? So college fantasy football in the past was really just kind of a mess, in my opinion. You've got over 130 teams. None of the really big fantasy services were involved in it. But now Yahoo has basically set up a fantasy college football setup where it only involves the Power Four and Notre Dame. All right. And I put up a poll last night, and more than half of the people who responded say we should do a listener league. And I'm thinking about doing one. And I'm guessing that many of the people who participate in our NFL, Major League Baseball, NASCAR would probably like to have a college football
Sure they would.
Fantasy team. So I'm thinking that we'll probably have a draft sometime in August. Can I get your support on this? Will you take a team?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Why not? I spend so much time with my other leagues that
don't bowl me over with your enthusiasm.
I might be able to squeeze some time out of it. Yeah, it sounds like I am not somebody that's going to be able to know like what my fifth option at running back is going to be in college football. But whatever, it'll be fine.
Well, I just think it's kind of interesting to think about the different types of college football teams and how they might be fantasy relevant or irrelevant.
I like how this you could basically go all the way back to former West Virginia players on why we're even able to do this, because the reason that they never did it before was the same reason that EA Sports stopped doing the college football game and everything else is the name, image, and likeness. Now you can do it. Yeah. You're allowed to use players' names.
That's right.
So that all goes back to a ruling that involved the West Virginia players. So what do you know?
To localize this a little bit, the guy who is expected to be WVU's top tailback is just outside the top 10 running backs in some of the ratings I've seen for fantasy college football. So, and that's always kind of interesting too. That's one of the things about college fantasy football. You think, oh, well, I'm going to load up my team with guys from my favorite school. That usually doesn't work out all that well.
Yeah, that even if you are a fan of an elite team, that it's hard to get that to work because there's got to be usually there's one guy that's the star or the breakout player.
Yeah.
You know, that's not going to help you out necessarily.
I thought it was interesting too that Yahoo could have basically said, well, Big 12, ACC, Group of 6, we're get your own league or whatever. They could have basically done a college fantasy football league that would have been the Big 10 and the SEC, and I think people would have accepted that because that number of teams is combined is relatively the same number of teams that we have in the NFL, right? Because once we get into the NFL fantasy football time, you can basically, if you're a fan of the NFL, you probably know like 2/3 of the starting quarterbacks, right?
That makes it more manageable. My only thought there would be is the lower third of all those leagues are a lot of bad quarterbacks and running backs.
No doubt.
Unlike in the NFL where you got pro guys that are at least out there doing it.
But the other thing is if you excluded the Big 12 and the ACC, you're tossing a few big brands out of the mix, and they have fans. I mean, let's face it, these companies are in the business to make money, right? So anyway, I think we'll do one. I think we will do a Yahoo College Football Fantasy Listener League. And if you're interested in that, just respond to me on X, or I'll probably, what I probably should do is just send out email to the participants in our other leagues. And the first, 15 guys who, should it be a 16-team league or a 12? What do you think?
I don't know.
I'm thinking if you've got so many college football teams with the P4 and Notre Dame, we could probably do a 16-team league.
Seems like it. Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of been on my mind, and right now I'm leaning in. Oh, some pretty interesting texts coming into the show. Let's start with Matt in Utah regarding my comments about the World Cup. He goes, won't Dave be on the beach with his metal detector before the next World Cup rolls around? That's a legitimate point. That is a legitimate point. I guess the answer to that is a 100% yes. 100% yes. 681-981. Dave, no longer in the 240. Dual Lane Snack Bar in Hagerstown, Maryland has the best French fries. So the question of the day is, on this National French Fry Day, who's got the best fast food fries and which fast food fries are overrated? According to no longer in the 240, the most overrated is Wendy's. And you were making that point a few days ago, weren't you, Coop?
Yeah, the Wendy's is really running with some problems.
All right, we'll get more into the question of the day in just a bit and our responses. Let's jump into the Sound of Sports. I'll try to jump into the Sound of Sports. Start with the baseball. Dirty Birds were 4-3 losers to Long Island last night here in Charleston. The Ducks won the game despite committing 4 errors. The Dirty Birds were held to just 4 hits last night. From the big leagues, the Pirates host the Brewers tonight to open the weekend at PNC. Last night in Cincinnati, the Reds were 1-0 tough luck losers to the Phillies. Philly All-Star pitcher Jesus Luzardo allowed just 2 hits in 7 innings and struck out 11. Justin Crawford's base hit in the 8th drove in the game's only run.
Crawford to the plate now. Stewart to step in on the grass at third base. Justin tonight is 0 for 2 with 2 fly balls out to Blade and left.
Hit sharply, base hit into right field. Hills around third, heading for home. The throw by Marte is way offline. RBI single for Justin Crawford. 1-0 Phillies.
For the second night in a row, the rookie with a big hit here against the Reds. And the Phillies break the scoreless tie. It's 1-0.
All right, so Cincinnati's Brady Singer is now 3-9 overall, but he pitched well last night. Allowed just 3 hits and struck out 5 in 7 1/3. Lots of chatter today about the Reds in the 9th inning last night. Cincy gets the first 2 men aboard to start the inning with no outs, but then Phil's closer, Johan Duran, strikes out Gino Suarez, Tyler Stevenson, and gets Marte to ground out to end the game.
So the Reds have runners at first and second base now with nobody out. Eugenio Suarez is the batter.
Suarez with the game on the line here in the bottom of the 9th inning. He's 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts, lifetime against Milan.
Swing and a miss. Suarez down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight. Gets the first out. And now Tyler Stevenson, who has singled today. Swing and a miss. He got it with 101 miles per hour. And Noelvi Marte is the batter. The Phillies trying to put a bow on another series win. Broken bat chopper over toward third. Bohm's got it. Throws to first, and it's in time, and the ball game is over. It got a little dicey here in the 9th inning, but a couple of meetings sort of calmed Duran down. It's the 11th shutout of the year for the Phils as they win it 1-0.
So Duran earns his 23rd save in his 24 opportunities this year. After the game, here's Reds manager Terry Francona on that frustrating 9th inning.
What's going through your mind when you get the first two on like that with nobody out?
Well, I mean, Blade had a really good at-bat and then did a good job getting a jump, because our thinking is it's going to be hard to string a bunch of hits together off him, which I think is kind of stating the obvious. Once you get in that situation, you're one bad pitch from not just tying it but winning it. He didn't make a bad pitch.
So the Reds host the Cubs tonight. Right-hander Hunter Green will go to the mound to make his second start of the season tonight. More baseball in a moment. But tomorrow night in Las Vegas, Conor McGregor is the headliner for UFC 329. Getting into the octagon for a rematch with Max Holloway after their first bout 13 years ago. Both have carved out Hall of Fame careers. McGregor was the first simultaneous two-division UFC champ. Meanwhile, Holloway's established himself as one of the best featherweights ever. Here is Conor McGregor. He sounds ready.
And one more for the Notorious. You and your family have been through so much. You've become famous. You've grown so much as a person. How special is it to show your 4 kids that their dad can bounce back and come back to the top?
We are McGregors. To my children, we are McGregors. We represent greatness. On a Saturday night, you're going to see it from ringside, baby. The McGregors represent greatness.
So McGregor
That's
will be
so corny. Oh my gosh, that's corny.
Crazy, right? McGregor will be fighting for the first time since shattering his leg 5 years ago in the octagon. Holloway will be making his welterweight debut, putting on 15 pounds in a relatively short amount of time for this bout. UFC 329 is available on Paramount Plus. Back to baseball. In St. Louis, the Brewers put up 6 runs in the third to top the Cardinals 8-4 to wrap up this odd 5-game series with 4 road wins over the Redbirds. Jake Bauers hit a 3-run homer, his 17th of the year, to give the Brewers some breathing room.
Now here's Bauers. Infield is all the way in here. Bauers singled last inning.
1-1 to Bauers. Fly ball right field. It is back and it is gone into the bullpen. A 3-run bomb for Bauers, and the Brewers up to a 6-0 lead. Hanging curveball, and Bauers knew exactly what to do with it.
A 3-run chomer, a Bauer ball. Bauers by name, Bauers by reputation. Doubles the score. Brewers up 6-0 on the Cardinals here in the top of the third.
Oh, baby, what a big swing for Jake. He continues to rake.
Oh, that was good. I like how he said that. Milwaukee wins 4 games in a series in St. Louis for the second time in franchise history and the first time in 17 years. The NL leading Brewers send Brandon Sproat, the right-hander, to the mound to face the Pirates right-hander Braxton Ashcraft tonight at PNC. And how about a walk-off? Last night in Arlington, the Rangers' Wyatt Langford lined a shot off the wall and left to bring home the game winner in a 7-6 win over the Angels after nearly blowing a 5-run lead.
Job well done by Lopez. Now the winning run in scoring position here for Wyatt Langford. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Here comes Yates. And that ball is hit to deep left field. Siri going back. It's over his head. It's off the base of the wall. Osuna around third. He scores easily. Wyatt Langford walks off the Angels as the Rangers defeat LA here tonight by the final of 7-6. Langford drills one off the base of the wall in left, picking up his 21st RBI of the season. And despite blowing a 6-1 lead, the Rangers prevail by the final of 7-6.
At the World Cup, Spain and Belgium battling in Los Angeles at the moment for a spot in the semifinals. Belgium has tied the game. It's 1-1 in the 46th minute. Thursday in Foxborough, France became the first team to advance to the Final Four with a 2-0 win over Morocco. The stars have been shining in this World Cup, and that includes Mbappe, who opened the scoring for France in the second half.
Mario heads it back in. Due able to find Mbappe through traffic. Kylian Mbappe! 20 career World Cup goals! Gives France the lead in the quarterfinal.
So France will face either Spain or Belgium in the World Cup semis in Dallas next Tuesday. And the NBA Summer League tipped off this week. We've got a few local connections to it. For example, Polka's Isaac McNeely is playing for Atlanta. He knocked in the first bucket of the year for the Hawks with a tray against the Spurs last night.
Zuby Ejiofor will find the sharpshooting McNeely, who hits on his first Summer League attempt here in Vegas. You know how the game has changed, obviously, over the last decade or so, and the memo written here early for this young guy is taking a bunch of threes. Nice putback that time. Taurus Reed Jr. from UConn.
McNeely, who played at Virginia and Louisville after winning a state tournament at Polka, had 10 points in his NBA Summer League debut yesterday. You go, boy. We'll take a break, and the follow-up file is next.
Hi, I'm Julie Wilkins, a designer at Civil and Environmental Consultants. CEC was my first choice when I wanted to return to West Virginia to work and be closer to family. As a designer using AutoCAD and ArcGIS, I collaborate across all departments on diverse projects. CEC is employee-owned with over 30 offices nationwide and 3 right here in West Virginia. We provide top-notch engineering solutions. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Ready to make this boating season unforgettable? Head to Lou Wendell Marine Sales, family owned and operated for over 40 years and West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Lou and his sons are boating experts from sales to service to repairs. And right now, their lot is packed with incredible inventory and some of the best deals of the season. Whether it's weekends on the lake or sunset cruises with the family, Lou Wendell Marine Sales has your perfect boat waiting, because they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com today.
Metro News Hotline, brought to you by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows for Talk Line on Metro News Television. Sports Line on Metro News Television.
I was sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? Sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another grand on them tomorrow.
Time for the follow-up file. When we started our question of the day segment, we originally wanted to read all the responses, but we started getting too many to do that. Some had come in so late or even after the show was over. Couldn't find a way to get that stuff into the program until now with the follow-up file. Yesterday, we were talking about that show on Netflix where the guy's going to eat fried chicken 3 times a day, 28 days in a row. So that was the question. What could you eat 3 times a day, 28 days in a row? 304-741. Dave, I could eat cereal 3 times a day for 28 days. Lots of choices, but it would still be cereal. 304-590. Dave, fajitas, and margaritas. 724-970. Dave, salad. I love salad. I eat a big salad for either lunch or dinner. Anyway, I like pizza, but a salad is a better choice. You know, I don't disagree. With that. I think that was actually a very good response. We had a question earlier this week about people want shorter movies. And the question was, what's a movie that absolutely did not need to be over 2 hours long? Old School 58 with a couple of suggestions. How about Pearl Harbor and The Irishman? Absolutely right about The Irishman. You are so right about that. 304-212. Hey, Dave, this is Fred from Morgantown. Hey, Fred. Dances with Wolves is the only movie I ever walked out on. However, I did watch the whole movie later on TV, and I cried. By the way, we had a bunch of people respond to this and say Titanic. I mean, multiple people thought that Titanic was too long, and I think that's exactly right. We had a question of the day earlier this week about what West Virginian needs a statue. 304-382. Dave, a coal miner and his family. 304-437. Hey, Dave and Coop. I'm coming in late on this, but I think there should be a statue of Jerry West, and I'd be in on one for Robert Alexander as well. That's from Bill in Nitro. Thank you, Bill. We had a bunch of responses to our question of the day this week. Thanks to everybody who sent stuff in. A quick break, and we'll come back and wrap the hour in a moment.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont, Shop the Run!
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop. Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Join Kyle Wiggs, Coach Hunter, and Brett Howe weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television.
All right, that's going to do it for the first hour of the show. We'll take a break, collect our thoughts, if we have any, and get you ready for hour number 2 with a quick start to the Wall Street Report, a reset on our question of the day about fries. And oh, yeah, it's Friday at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. That means buy or sell. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. We have that flood watch with us through Saturday night, very early Sunday morning. Widely scattered showers and storms. A couple of isolated strong storms will be possible, mainly south into this upcoming weekend. And then heading into next week, it does look drier and warmer. So there's our flood watch again across much of the state through very early Sunday morning. Pockets of heavy rain with some of these thunderstorms, but with the amount of rain that we've had and this lingering front, any additional rain could lead to excessive runoff. Again, there are some isolated severe thunderstorm potential, again, off to the east and to the south, even to the north over the northern panhandle. Again, the wind and hail would be the primary concern with any of these stronger thunderstorms that are with us. Then on Saturday, we'll have some additional scattered thunderstorms. Again, a better chance on Saturday, mainly to the south. Time now for our Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Temperatures will be cooler in the D.C. area this weekend, but showers and thunderstorms in place. Thunderstorms ongoing in Florida. Feels like temperatures there to the triple digits. Our panhandle forecast on Saturday. Readings again into the 80s with those widely scattered storms. 82 in Romney. Moorfield will be at 84 in Petersburg, sitting at 85 degrees. As we head to the south and west, Elkins, Parsons into the upper 70s, Grafton at 79, Clay at 80 degrees, Ripley at 83. So these temperatures certainly not as hot as they were last week, and definitely a little cooler thanks to this shower and thunderstorm potential. Beckley at 76 degrees, Welch 79, and as we head to the north and west up near Charleston, we're at 83 for that high on Saturday. Sunday, again, a few leftover showers and storms, and that chance of rain diminishes as we head into early next week, and we're going to be heating up.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour.
Navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more.
From a Mountain State point of view, Hotline is a no politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hour number 2, How Do You Do? Metro News Hotline, keeping you company in West Virginia every weekday afternoon from 3:06 right up until the bitter end at 6 o'clock. Hey, wherever you're listening to the show today, inside the state of West Virginia or beyond the borders, just trying to get a read on what's going on back home, we hope you're having a good day. We hope you're having a good day, and we're really glad you're tuning in today. And we're doing just fine here in Charleston. Thanks for asking, by the way. Got a lot of stuff to get into in this particular hour. The next couple of hours, in fact, we'll take a peek at what happened in the financial markets in just a moment. Reset our question of the day, because it is, after all, National French Fry Day. And we'll play some buy or sell. It's a Friday tradition at 4 o'clock. All of our contestants/victims are here, so we'll get into that. A little bit later on in the hour, we've got the entertainment report coming your way at 4:25. Beer Friday, don't we need it now, with Pat Strader in less than a half an hour. In the second half hour, in hour number 2, we'll open up the On the State file, have the 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports. We can tell you this, that in the World Cup game, just starting the second half, we've got Belgium, who knocked out the United States earlier this week, and Spain all knotted at 1 with a spot in the World Cup semifinals next Tuesday in Dallas against France, hanging in the balance. So we'll keep our eyes on that. 5 o'clock hour, Jed Drenning from the Mountaineer Sports Network will be here to talk a little Mountaineer football, and specifically WVU running backs. So we'll talk a little Mountaineer football coming a couple of days after the end of the Big 12 football media days, and Frisco, Texas earlier this week. We'll play in or out at 5:25, and Aristotle Jones will be here at 5:33 with another edition of It Sounds Good West Virginia. So that sounds like a pretty packed 2 hours to me. Let's start with what happened in the financial markets today. Green across the board. We love seeing that. The Dow was up 0.3% today, gaining 150 points. The Dow closing at 52,637. S&P 500 up 0.4%, gaining 32 points, 75.75 at the close. NASDAQ was up 0.3%, gaining 75 points today. NASDAQ closing at 26,281. What would happen on Wall Street, Coop, if suddenly at 4 o'clock, instead of the bell, they rang the sound for the question of the day?
Man, that would be really cool.
That would be really interesting. It's like, hey, man, did we just buy like 10 more minutes?
It seems like the market can suffer through anything, but I don't know if it could suffer through that.
I don't know if they could either. Stocks related to West Virginia that were big percentage gainers or losers today. Yeah, there's some green on this board today. Love seeing that. Caterpillar was up 1.7%, gained a little more than $16 today, $954.45 at the close. Dow's been on the move in the last few sessions. Up again today, 2.1%, tacked on 61 cents, $29.11 at the close. And let's keep it going here with FMC up 1.4%, tacking on 16 cents, $11.05 at the end of today's session. In the energy space today, what about oil? Oil, relatively flat, down, but just 46 cents. WTI on the NYMEX closed at $71.62. Natural gas currently trading down 2.3%, down 7 cents, $2.94 per unit at the moment. And Bitcoin today, Bitcoin up 0.8%, gaining $542. A coin on crypto, Bitcoin going for $63,797. Let me say that again. Up $541 on Bitcoin, ending the session at $63,798. So there you go. All right, boys, hit the Mose Allisons. So let's get into a little buy or sell. We were thinking every Thursday when Amy Smith comes on the show to talk about the financial markets, why don't Coop and I do a segment where we use the same idea for sports, music, pop culture, and more? That's what we're doing today. Let's get started with buy or sell. Hey, man, Matt Guitar Murphy's here. You ever been to Belgium?
No.
But how many countries in Europe do you think you've been in?
So far, 7.
You've been close to Belgium?
Relatively, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Had a waffle.
Yeah. What was Tiffany Haddish? What did she say about Belgium yesterday? She
Waffle eaters.
No, waffle munchers.
Munchers, that's
waffle
right.
munchers. Waffle munchers. All right, what do you got? What's your buy or sell?
All right, let's talk about loss leaders. A loss leader, it's a product or service sold at a price below its minimum profit margin to stimulate other sales of more profitable goods or services. Essentially, it's just a really effective marketing strategy to get people into your place of business, right? As I mentioned, offering items or services at below the minimum profit margin, but not necessarily below cost. Examples of this, famously, the Costco hot dog and drink combo for $1.50, buy one, get one soda sales. I used to work at Target, and they sold Tide detergent at a lower price to undercut competition. You can buy flowers at Trader Joe's at cost. Who knew? Dollar General, the stuff on the back wall, that's kind of a loss leader. They sell that below retail price, so to speak. Why do I bring this up? Well, because last week I was in Milwaukee. Thursday I went to the Reds-Brewers game. It was the only game that the Reds won. It's fine. But they had dollar hot dogs. Ooh. $1 hot dogs. 45,000 hot dogs were sold that day. They keep track, by the way. Is that all? Huh. Yeah, just 45,000. So basically what you do is you go to your local hot dog dealer, wherever you are, whichever level in the ballpark, you go to the dealer. They have a folding table set up, and they've got like bakery proofers in the back there with hot dogs, just hundreds of them sitting there, and you just get hot dogs. And so I took them and I put them in my pockets, in my cargo shorts, and I'm walking around the ballpark. with $1 hot dogs.
Is that a hot dog in your pocket?
Yeah, exactly. See?
Nice.
See?
Nice.
See? So it was, I'm not going to lie, it was a bit of a motivator for me to go to the game.
Nice.
Here's the thing.
I love baseball.
In the world of $17 beers and $30 venue meals, guys, buy or sell, the entertainment industry, specifically sports, concerts, and beyond, need to take a page out of the retail industry's playbook and offer more loss-leading items and promotions.
Man, I think that's a great topic.
Absolutely,
that could be like a legitimate discussion for a while. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, absolutely, you should do more promotions like that. And the thing is, most of that stuff you could get underwritten. You could probably get the stuff donated to you and have like a co-sponsor do it, and they're doing it for the exposure. I mean, you could do it, and it would cost you nothing at all and be a loss leader. It would be beautiful.
Sounds like a sales manager in there.
It'd be beautiful.
So many questions. So many questions. First of all, how many hot dogs were you carrying?
A few. I can't eat all that many, but I mean, I did get like 4.
Okay. You know, it's a lot of hot dogs when it's like you have to like generalize how many that you have.
Well, you don't really want to admit, I was carrying around.
I mean, it was so funny because people were walking around with like bundles of them in their arms, and just random strangers, they're like, hey, man, you need a hot dog?
So how many hot dogs did they sell?
For over 45,000.
45,000, and that was the attendance at the game.
41,000 was the attendance, yes. So everybody had at least one if you divvied it out.
So you basically had a half a dozen hot dogs, so you basically had half the row's value of hot dogs.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you.
I feel like you're
another way
me.
you could look at it is like, I had a 6-pack.
What'd you do with the old hot dogs? I mean, you didn't eat them all, right? Or did you?
Well, they wrap them in foil.
It's a long day.
They just stay in my pocket for a while. I don't know. They were fine.
It's hot out. They say steamed.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way.
Baseball stadium hot dogs. They last for like 100 years.
That's
true, too.
It's true.
So
and they're
true.
still good.
To go back to the topic, I'm going to buy this. I'm buying this.
What about you, Ryan?
I'm gonna buy this. I'm very hungry now.
I know, right?
You're
I
welcome.
could go for a hot dog.
I could go
You're
for
welcome.
a hot dog.
I tell you, is there anything more positive in life than looking down and seeing a wrapped ballpark hot dog?
I'm telling you, man, it's right
Yeah.
there.
In
Multiples.
in that wrapping paper that's sort of yellow goldish,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like
Oh,
what was I talking about? Okay, Ryan, what's your topic?
Dave, I hate to call you out on this, but I think you forgot to set the question of the day at the top of the hour.
Oh, well,
we went straight from the stock report.
We're trying to
into
save
fire
time.
sale.
I
man.
just got excited.
Okay.
I got
Sorry.
excited. It's all right.
So, fictional languages, or constructed languages too. Now we think about language very little, despite using it every day. So, what's the difference between this? A fictional language has no native speakers. Now, for English, general example, there are a bunch of native speakers across the world. For a constructed language like Esperanto, they have native speakers, even if it's like a sort of artificially created language outside of like the evolutionary process of languages that goes on for like thousands of years. But a fictional language specifically created for like a property, a TV show, a movie, a book, no native speakers whatsoever. A few examples. Kenya and Sindarin from Lord of the Rings, Klingon from Star Trek, Na'vi from Avatar, Valyrian and Dothraki from Game of Thrones, and the examples I have today, Orky from Warhammer 40K. And I got some, and I wrote out and translated some sentences for you.
Oh, let's have it.
So if I wanted to say, for example, wow, this firearm has an excellent rate of fire. It is well suited for battle. I would say, this shooter got big DACA, perfect for the war.
Nice.
Or if I said, this vehicle would be more stylish if it had an ornament on the hood, I would say, this wheel needs more spiky bits, you gets. Or if I wanted to say, please be quiet, I would say, shut your zogging gob, stupid. So, buy or sell. Fictional languages are just as beautiful as real ones.
Okay, so my question here, where does Pig Latin fall?
I don't know.
Ixnay on the Igpay Atinlay.
I guess that would be... It's not really fictional, but it's also not a constructed language because no native speakers. speak Pig Latin. So I guess it's more just code than language.
Man, I really like this topic. I really like this topic a lot. But I think I'm just going to have to be slightly out because, I mean, can any fictional language be any better than like Italian or French or English?
We made it all up anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, at some point.
I know. I really like this. Hey, here, sidebar, Your Honor. Did they have a fictional language in Stargate, the movie?
No.
They did not?
No, because they were they're Egyptian.
Oh, okay. I do like this topic, though. I'm going to be slightly out.
I was checking. I think that Ryan Daje is from the desk of Ryan in Klingon.
Wow.
Hey, Ryan and I were having a conversation about this earlier today. If you've got two guys and they're both trying to speak Klingon, let me just rephrase that they are speaking Klingon, do they understand each other well?
Yes, I've known two fluent Klingon speakers that spoke to each other in Klingon.
Wow.
Yeah, I've known, yes.
All right.
It's a full language. I mean, it's I think it's the most Ryan and I were talking about this too. I think it's the most robust fictional language. I think it has the most grammar rules and most words and stuff like that.
I'm going to have to get into the Google machine on this because I'd love to see a list of films and TV shows that have actual fictional language.
Game of Thrones had quite a bit too, I think.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, you're right. And that was really good. All right, Coop, what do you got?
Okay, let's see. By the way, I buy the concept, Brian. Okay. I think it was good.
Thank you.
One of the things I've been doing recently, and as much as I old man rant on this show, I don't think it's any surprise. I probably talked about it a little bit. I've been trying to simplify a lot of things that I'm doing, and this goes into like my personal life. One of the things, like, I have a hard time misplacing things sometimes. I mean, I think we all do at a certain age. You misplace your keys, your remote, your wallet, whatever it might be. And all the solutions are like high tech. You have to get this thing, and you get an account, and you log on, and you put it to your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth so you can find it. Convenient, but come on, man. Do I have to do all that? So I did some research, and I just found some really easy RF remote locators. Just like really easy stuff. It just uses an RF. That's all it is. You put two watch batteries in it, one in the receiver, one in the remote. You tape it on there. So I have remotes all over my house now, and I have a remote, as it turns out, with color buttons on it that I can hit, and I can find my headphones, I can find my remotes, I can find things along those lines. I've also gotten things like for my daughter. One of the things I got her for her birthday was I got her a remote control car, but it was one of the old school ones that you needed to have analog tools for, required no account, no log on, nothing along those lines in order to be able to do it. It was something that I got that's completely analog and offline as far as that goes. There's a lot of things that I've been exploring going along those lines and doing some research. Other Americans are along the same way. You talked about this with Abrar the other day. We pay over $200 for streaming services, although we think it's under $100 in our head. And people, when they start doing the math and figuring it out, it's making them snap. A lot of people just don't want all of these services anymore. And that includes things like things that are in your car. Automakers crammed everything onto the touchscreen. Their own internal research is now showing that users hate it. Drivers hate it. So much so that Mercedes software engineer said they're doing away with it. They're coming back with physical buttons. They know that physical buttons are better. Volkswagen's design boss said, we will never make this mistake again. Knobs are back. Knobs are back in Hyundais, Porsches, and Ferraris, all coming in 2027 or later. And it's not just cars. There's also dumb phones that are being sold where people are not wanting their smartphones. And people are getting their Blu-rays back. They're starting to watch Blu-rays so they don't have to have subscription services all over again. So my buy or sell question is this: the smart money on the future is on accessible technology, not more technology.
Well, Coop, you know me, man. I'm all about physical media, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
if I'm in that lane, I have to buy this. I have to buy it.
I think that we're seeing a big pushback against we having to sign up for everything, privacy concerns and stuff like that. It's too late, but I think we're starting to see a little bit of a pushback on it.
Personally, I'm a bit split on this issue because I agree with you on like cars. I've got a touch screen in my car, and don't get me wrong, I love my car, but I would prefer physical dials.
Same here.
That being said, as far as phones are concerned, I prefer my touchscreen phone over like a flip phone or one of those sliding phones with the little keyboard on it.
Right.
I would prefer to have this. So I think it's on a case-by-case basis, but in general, I think I'll buy.
What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I think I'm going to buy this. I can remember the transition from BlackBerry to like the first iPhones and how that essentially from that point on we have been in this world. And I think we've reached a point where folks are starting to realize it's like, okay, this maybe wasn't as good as we thought it was. It was just the new thing. And we're tactile. We have fingers for a reason to push buttons.
My daughter found my old BlackBerry in my drawer the other day where I keep all of my expired phones. She loved it.
BlackBerries
she
were
loved
great.
it.
BlackBerries were magic.
I miss
They were
that.
magic. Guys, that's all the time we got for. So there you go. That's Buy or Sell with our regular panelists back. Felt pretty good putting the band back together. Let's take a quick break, and we'll get into the entertainment report next.
Don't forget about our podcast.
Check out your favorite podcast provider.
Or simply go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the podcast link.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law.
On Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows for Talkline on Metro News Television. Sportsline on Metro News Television.
I was sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? Sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another grand on them tomorrow.
I always wanted to live in New York when I was a kid. I'm so excited that I get to live in New York. I saw New York City in a movie when I was a kid. It was called Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. It is a sequel. Yeah, how about that movie? It was a sequel to the movie Home Alone. I remember in that movie, the kid in Home Alone 2, he gets into a stretch limousine on 5th Avenue with a large cheese pizza, and I thought, this is the height of luxury! Now I live in New York, and I'm psyched, but that is a stupid movie title. Lost in New York, the streets are numbered.
4:28 on the show, almost halfway home on this Friday edition of the program. Time for Talkin' TV and more. Here are the latest entertainment headlines from ABC.
ABC Entertainment News.
Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass is out in theaters today. The comedy follows a small-town woman named Gail who is sent on a journey through Hollywood after finding out about her fiancé's fling with a celebrity. ABC Audio spoke to star Zoe Deutsch about inhabiting the character.
Whatever you're playing, whatever you're working on, it really seeps into your life and the experience that you're having with the world around you, separate from work. And so it was a very joyful experience to play her and live in that level of optimism.
They want me to put together a task force.
A Task and Mare of Easttown crossover is coming. ABC Audio has confirmed that Julianne Nicholson will return to her Emmy Award-winning role of Lori Ross in Season 2 of Task on HBO.
If you're looking for prestige.
Netflix has released the first teaser for the second season of The Gentleman. The Theo James-led action comedy will return to the streamer on September 3rd. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
All right, thank you. And we got Beer Friday coming up next. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. We have that flood watch with us through Saturday night, very early Sunday morning. Widely scattered showers and storms. A couple of isolated strong storms will be possible, mainly south into this upcoming weekend. And then heading into next week, it does look drier and warmer. So there's our flood watch again across much of the state through very early Sunday morning. Pockets of heavy rain with some of these thunderstorms, but with the amount of rain that we've had and this lingering front, any additional rain could lead to excessive runoff. Again, there are some isolated severe thunderstorm potential, again, off to the east and to the south, even to the north, over the northern panhandle. Again, the wind and hail would be the primary concern with any of these stronger thunderstorms that are with us. Then on Saturday, we'll have some additional scattered thunderstorms. Again, a better chance on Saturday, mainly to the south. Time now for our Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Temperatures will be cooler in the D.C. area this weekend, but showers and thunderstorms in place. Thunderstorms ongoing in Florida. Feels like temperatures there to the triple digits. Our panhandle forecast on Saturday. Readings again into the 80s with those widely scattered storms. 82 in Romney. Moorfield will be at 84 in Petersburg, sitting at 85 degrees. As we head to the south and west, Elkins, Parsons into the upper 70s, Grafton at 79, Clay at 80 degrees, Ripley at 83. So these temperatures certainly not as hot as they were last week, and definitely a little cooler thanks to this shower and thunderstorm potential. Beckley at 76 degrees, Welch 79, and as we head to the north and west up near Charleston, we're at 83 for that high on Saturday. Sunday, again, a few leftover showers and storms, and that chance of rain diminishes as we head into early next week, and we're going to be heating up.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
We cook West Virginian food is how we like to phrase it.
I knew that every time I would hear a story, and I would hear the same story, but it never got old, about what this meant to the family and how it was served and how special it was to be put on the table.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me too.
a great point.
Join
Yeah.
Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
And though we ain't no PhDs, but there's one thing that's for sure. When the whistle blows, everybody knows it's beer o'clock. Beer o'clock, I just can't wait. Beer o'clock, I don't want to be late. Beer o'clock, you know I worked all day for. Beer o'clock, you know quitting time round here is
Beer o'clock. All right. 26 minutes till the hour. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. And it's going to be 5 o'clock in the old WV before you know it. And to that end, bringing up to the stage, let's bring him on up, Pat Strader, for another edition of Hashtag Beer Friday. How you doing today, Pat?
I'm doing great, Dave. Happy Beer Friday.
Happy Beer Friday to you as well. Coop, not unexpectedly, Pat was listening to our conversation about fantasy college football. And so you're in, right, Pat?
Yeah, man. I think it'll be super fun, and it actually, might make it more interesting again,
Yeah, I agree. Now, years and years, it's so funny. Yesterday on the show, we were talking about the fact that Pitt and Penn State are going to play a game at the Palestra in Philadelphia. And this is the 100th year of the Palestra, so it's kind of a cool thing that they're going to play a game there. And we went back and found the last time WVU played at the Palestra was 1995 when West Virginia was still in the Atlantic 10.
Yep.
I was in an Atlantic 10 college basketball fantasy league one year, which was just a nightmare. It was just a nightmare to run. But now that Yahoo is running fantasy college football, they make it so easy, right? Because you're in a bunch of our leagues. You're in the pro football fantasy league too, right? And the baseball and the NASCAR.
Yep.
All right.
Yep, all of them.
All right, what do you think? Should we have 16 teams or 12? What do you think?
Oh, man. I mean, there's so many players. 16 could probably work,
That's the way I'm looking at it. You could have 16 teams, and we could have 4-team divisions. Anyway, let's talk about.
But I got a question, Dave.
Okay.
In 1995, where did you get Rhode Island Rams statistics?
Oh, I know. Oh, I didn't have to worry about it. I wasn't the commissioner of the league. This was so I just had I never checked my stats or anything like that. I just looked, when they emailed where I was, that's how we operated, right? But anyway, in the past, to try to have a college football fantasy league would just be too much trouble. There was over 130 teams involved, so this is only like P4 and Notre Dame. It's manageable.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it. I digress. All right, let's get into the business of beer. Oh, you mentioned the fact that there's not really a ton of news this week because everybody's just kind of kicking back and exhaling after the July 4th holiday.
Yeah, I was up at Bridge Brew Works yesterday evening and talking with Nate and Ken and Adam and they were just like, man, we're just trying to catch our breath from last weekend. And I think all the other breweries are in a similar spot. It was just a busy weekend. 4th of July fell on a Saturday. Everybody was busy, so there's not a ton of news, but we still got some stuff to talk
come on,
about.
man. Pat, you're always grinding. By the way, I don't know if you heard my segment with Adam Harris yesterday. He mentioned yesterday was the anniversary of Jerry Garcia's last stand. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, I was at that show.
You were? Oh, is
Yeah.
that well, Adam Harris's wife was also at that show in Chicago. So
well, she's pretty awesome. I got to hang out with her not too long ago, so that makes perfect sense to me.
All right. What's going on at Old Spruce? Let's start there today.
Old Spruce over at Snowshoe. It's, halfway up the mountain there, right where you turn off to Silver Creek. It's called their second stage. This is a beer that they've brewed before. It is back in cans and on tap, of course. It's a really awesome hazy IPA. And, we always talk about sense of place and things like that, Dave. What I love about this is the ABV on this beer is 4.848%. 48
Nice.
Snowshoe.
Nice.
It's a classic, man. A nice little touch there from the folks from Old Spruce. And they're getting into a little bit more of distribution, not a huge scale or anything, but you can find those things in and around the area up there. So keep an eye out for that. Second Stage from Old Spruce is back.
You know what? I haven't been there to eat. Have you ever eaten there? Because I hear it's really good.
It was a number of years ago when they first opened up, and it was fantastic then. And every time I look at their Facebook page, I'm just like, oh, man, I need to drive over there and try that. I mean, they've got some really fantastic menu items for sure.
That's what I'm looking at right now. I mean, they've got a steak and white cheddar quesadilla for $15. Yeah, put my name on that. That works for me on a lot of levels. What's up at Abolitionist?
Abolitionist, their Dirty Beard is back. Dirty Beard is kind of a crazy name for a beer, but this is a big chocolate and coffee stout, okay? This is an imperial stout. They brew a couple of different variations of this throughout the year, and this thing clocks in at 10%, so it's one that you probably want to share with a few other folks. But, man, these imperial stouts, it's not necessarily a summer beer, but I'm down for one of these any time of year. And, Abolitionist does a fantastic job with all of their stuff. But, man, these big imperial stouts, they really have that game cornered. So if you happen to be over there in the Eastern Panhandle, they do have it in cans. So you can find it. You don't necessarily have to go right to the brewery, but you can. Dirty Beard, chocolate and coffee, imperial stout is back.
There you go. Oh, by the way, you can get questions to Pat at 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. We got a couple more minutes to go in the segment. Here's a question for you, Pat, coming in from 304-481. Pat, what do you know about the Parkersburg Brewing? Are they going to continue brewing beer while they're doing their tap room remodel?
That's a good question. And I noticed that they were doing the remodel. I can't imagine that they would take their brew house offline for that, because it really doesn't impact, any of the front of the house, if you will. I could be mistaken, but I can't imagine that they would interrupt their brewing schedule while doing that.
All right, we got a little bit of news today about Brew Keepers. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Well, Brew Keepers, these are some of their seasonal beers, and these are back on tap, and these things are really popular. I hear a lot about these, but they have a honey cream Hefe Blonde. Mouthful of a beer there, but a really interesting style. The Hefe is the Hefeweizen. It's like a wheat base. And then, some variations of 3 different styles of beer coming together into one right there. They also have their Heritage Porter, which is just a straight up classic porter, and their McCulloch IPL. This is a really fantastic style that I love. It's called the India Pale Lager. That's what an IPL is. So it has, the smooth kind of characteristics of a traditional lager, but it is hopped up just a little bit on the front end there. So 3 really classic seasonals back on tap at Brew Keepers.
All right, Brew Keepers, by the way, is on Market Street right there in Wheeling, and they're open now. I mean, they are open from noon to 10 on Friday and Saturday, but just be aware that they're closed on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. All right, they're open 4 days a week, Wednesday and Thursday from noon to 4, and then Friday and Saturday they've got expanded hours there. They are open from noon to 10 p.m. You know what? We got one more stop to make, don't we?
One more.
Yeah. What's up with Ursus?
Ursus, Ursus is one of our newest, if not the newest, brewery that's right there on Hale Street in Charleston. And they have a new beer out, Dave. This is what they're calling the Natural Blonde Belgian Ale, which is a lot, happening here. A Belgian blonde. Again, this is kind of a mashup of a couple different styles. They describe it as nicely balanced with a slight peppery spice note, which, traditionally you get that kind of peppery taste, if you will, coming from either rye being in the malt bill or like a Saison yeast that's being used. So I'm not exactly sure what may be, kind of giving that peppery spice note there, but no matter what, I'm hearing great things about what Ursus is doing there in Charleston. So if you happen to be around, stop in there and try this new Belgian blonde.
Yeah, and it's a relatively new place. It's right there at 207 Hale Street right here in downtown Charleston. Hey, you know, Pat, you and I have talked about the Grateful Dead on multiple occasions, but I didn't know you were at Jerry's Last Stand. That was, the anniversary was yesterday back in 1995. Now, that was the second of two shows back-to-back in Chicago. Did you go to both those shows?
I didn't get in on the first one, no. And you know, I love the Grateful Dead. I was late to the party, Dave. You know, I'm not going to lie about that. But, you know, I went to, I hit Pittsburgh, Deer Creek, St. Louis, Chicago, right the last couple of shows of their last tour, and very grateful for that experience.
So
no pun intended.
So we lost Jerry a month after Jerry's Last Stand in 1995 and that show in Chicago. Did you come away from that show thinking that wasn't a very good show, or do you remember what you were thinking about when you left there?
No, Dave, I don't remember a whole lot. I remember the show, but you know, it was just. I mean, part of going to a Dead show is just the experience of the entire thing. I mean, from the lot to just the people and just, you know, everybody's having a good time. You know, I didn't come away thinking it was a bad show. No, not at all.
All right. Well, what's the story on the smoker? You're going to get that bad boy fired up this weekend or what? Yeah,
you know what? I'm actually doing a little Polynesian pork tomorrow on there. I've got a little salsa that I'm going to make for that. So I'm going to put that thing on the rotisserie and smoke it. So I'm not exactly sure. I haven't tried this before, but we'll see how it turns out.
Well,
Dave.
It just happened to be today. My wife, as I was going out the door, she says, ask Pat about the pickles. So what's the deal with your dad and the pickles? What's going on with that,
you know
Pat?
what? I need to get up there with a batch of cucumbers and see if we can get some made here soon, for sure.
Thank you, Pat. All right. So what's in your hand, or what will be there soon?
You know what? I've got a couple more weathered grounds over here. You know, last week I had the Arcade Double IPA, and I think I'm going to go in there and grab one more.
Well, I'll tell you what. It was a job well done today on this program, Pat. You earned it, man.
Well, thank you, Dave. I appreciate that.
All right. Talk to you next week, Pat. 4:33 next Friday. It's a date for another #Beer Friday. Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me, Dave, and happy Beer Friday.
Happy Beer Friday to you as well. Man, good stuff. Always getting some great stuff from Pat Strader in this segment. This is one of the Coop, I guess. Do we have any older segments that we do on a consistent basis than #Beer Friday with Pat? This has got to be one of our longest running segments.
Like as far as guest segments, yeah. I mean, on this date and In or Out, you brought with you.
Well, that's true.
We launched those with the show, so those are older benchmarks. But as far as guest segments, I think Beer Friday. Beer Friday's probably the oldest one. Kristen's not far behind.
Yeah, that's probably right.
I think that we settled in on her after a couple of different routes on the entertainment industry. But
hey, you know what? Speaking of on this date, I had forgotten about this. I had it written down, but I didn't talk about it. Yesterday was the anniversary of the first natural gas well in the United States. And you know where that was drilled? Right here in Charleston.
I was going to say, it's
right here in Charleston. On this date in 1815, the first natural gas well was discovered by accident. And there's a marker here in town for it. It's on Canal Boulevard, just west of Brook Street. It's on the right when you're traveling to the east, near the banks of the river. But how about that? So the first natural gas well discovered, you know, within less than a mile from where we are right here in 1815.
There's still a lot of great natural gas right here on Virginia Street.
There's a lot of gas in this town. Is that what you're trying to say? And then 200 years later, here we are. We have the highest utility bills in the country, right?
Yeah, go imagine.
Oh, and on that happy note, let's take a break. We're coming back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop. Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Join Kyle Wiggs, Coach Hunter, and Brett Howe weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is time now for On This Date, and we'll start with the birthdays. We'll start with the sports birthdays. Some pretty good sports birthdays. You know, we're coming to the end of Wimbledon this weekend. Virginia Wade, our Ginny, won the women's singles in 1977. She's 81 years old today. The Hawk, Andre Dawson, 1987 NL MVP with the Cubs. Played for the Expos, too, 72 years old. Coop, Alvoid Mays. You remember Alvoid Mays? Avoid the Noid.
Avoid the Noid.
He played for WVU. He was a good defensive back in the late 80s. Played with the Steelers for a minute. 60 years. Alvoid Mays is 60 years old. That's nuts. Hal McRae played for the Reds, the Royals, former manager. If you know, you know. 81 years old. Roger Craig of the Niners, 66 years old today. Urban Meyer having a birthday today. Urban Meyer, national championships at Florida and OSU, 62 years old today. A.B. Antonio Brown, 38 years old today. All right. Got some celebrity birthdays, too. Jessica Simpson is 46 years old today. Neil Tennant of the Pet Shop Boys having a birthday today. He is 72 years old. Also on this day, from journalism, on this date, 1978, ABC rolls out the first edition of World News Tonight.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Max Robinson in Chicago, Peter Jennings in London, Barbara Walters' special reports, and tonight a comment from Howard K. Smith, and from our Washington desk, Frank Reynolds.
Good evening, and welcome to the first broadcast of the World News Tonight. Speaking for all the men and women of ABC News, I promise you an accurate, responsible, and meaningful report on events at home and abroad. We are aware of our responsibility to you, and we intend to meet it.
World News Tonight premiered on ABC on this date in 1978. 3 years later, 1981, Escape from New York, directed by John Carpenter and starring Kurt Russell, premieres in the United States.
One man must go in where no man has ever gotten out. And if he comes back alone, his nightmare has just begun. Who are you? John Carpenter's Escape from New York.
Heard you were dead.
No, not dead. Just in the theater, ma'am. Escape from New York on this date, 1981. Also on this date from baseball, 1934, the second ever baseball All-Star game. The AL wins the game 9-7. New York Giants screwballer Carl Hubble strikes out Murderers Row.
At home in the Polo Grounds, Giant left-hander Carl Hubble let the first two batters reach base in the 1934 All-Star Game. Up next was a trio as formidable as any ever assembled in a baseball lineup. Ruth, Gehrig, and Fox. Hubble struck all three out.
He strikes out Babe Ruth.
What I tried to do was to strike Ruth out. He's the only one I was really trying to strike out.
And when he returned to the mound in the second, Hubble fanned the next two hitters, Al Simmons and Joe Cronin, making it 5 future Hall of Famers in all.
It was on this date in 1934, and our musical birthday to the break, Arlo Guthrie is 79 today. The 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports are coming up next.
73, 71, and 7.
Of the rusted automobile. Good morning, America, how are you? Said, don't you know me? I'm your native son.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Stay ahead of West Virginia weather with Metro News Television. Now bringing you a new way to stay informed across the Mountain State. Get updates daily at 9, noon, and 4. From headlines and precipitation to severe weather threats and highs and lows. See conditions from panhandle to panhandle and check travel with the Fly CRW forecast. Our meteorologists are on your screens and on Talkline, Midday, Hotline, and Sportsline, keeping you up to date. Metro News Television weather. Accurate, local, and always on.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're panhandle cleaning and restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're panhandle cleaning and restoration, and we're gonna save you.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
By the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Sports headlines at 5 o'clock at the World Cup. 97th minute, Spain leads Belgium 2-1. And former Mountaineer J.J. Weatherholt, 8 years, $112 million contract with the Cardinals, just announced today. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. We have that flood watch with us through Saturday night, very early Sunday morning. Widely scattered showers and storms. A couple of isolated strong storms will be possible, mainly south into this upcoming weekend. And then heading into next week, it does look drier and warmer. So there's our flood watch again across much of the state through very early Sunday morning. Pockets of heavy rain with some of these thunderstorms, but with the amount of rain that we've had and this lingering front, any additional rain could lead to excessive runoff. Again, there are some isolated severe thunderstorm potential, again, off to the east and to the south, even to the north over the northern panhandle. Again, the wind and hail would be the primary concern with any of these stronger thunderstorms that are with us. Then on Saturday, we'll have some additional scattered thunderstorms. Again, a better chance on Saturday, mainly to the south. Time now for our Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Temperatures will be cooler in the D.C. area this weekend, but showers and thunderstorms in place. Thunderstorms ongoing in Florida. Feels like temperatures there to the triple digits. Our panhandle forecast on Saturday. Readings again into the 80s with those widely scattered storms. 82 in Romney. Moorfield will be at 84 in Petersburg, sitting at 85 degrees. As we head to the south and west, Elkins, Parsons into the upper 70s, Grafton at 79, Clay at 80 degrees, Ripley at 83. So these temperatures certainly not as hot as they were last week, and definitely a little cooler thanks to this shower and thunderstorm potential. Beckley at 76 degrees, Welch 79, and as we head to the north and west up near Charleston, we're at 83 for that high on Saturday. Sunday, again, a few leftover showers and storms, and that chance of rain diminishes as we head into early next week, and we're going to be heating up.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right. 5:06 in West Virginia. Time to start the third and final hour of our program today. Metro News Hotline. Oh, what a week. What a week it's been. Although, you know, not too awful bad today. A little rain in the Mountain State. Hope you're doing all right. Let's welcome in the weekend with a fanfare.
Fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. I love you, Red Soul. Everybody's working for the weekend. Everybody wants a new romance.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
Enough is enough. I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday play.
All right, there you go. That makes it official. The weekend is here and is underway in West Virginia, and frankly, not a moment too soon. All right, we got a busy hour planned for you. We're going to reset our question of the day in just a moment. Oh, Jed Drenning's going to drop by, man. We'll talk about WVU football at the drop of a hat, right? Last week we had Jed on the air. We talked a little bit about quarterbacks. Today I wanted to focus in a little bit more on running backs. Okay, so we'll give you a chance to hear Jed's take on the Mountaineer running game, which on paper anyway looks like it should be pretty solid. We'll get his take on that in just a minute. We will play in or out. That'll be at 5:25. Coop, what'd you say? Aristotle Jones is out of the mix today? So we can't even do his segment? We don't have any music or anything? We can't fake our way through it?
I suppose we can make some stuff up, or maybe we could put out the call for, hey, if you have some music at your establishment tonight, let us know.
There you go.
Yeah, you can text in 304-825-5304. Send us a text. Let us know if you have an establishment where you're playing or you have own one where somebody's going to be playing. We'll do our own.
What a great idea. What a great idea.
Not?
By the way, so we've got to come up. We'll figure something out at 5:33. But one thing I know we will do, today's National French Fry Day.
Yeah.
We will go through the list of local places that have deals on French Fry Day.
Oh, deals!
I got a list. I got the master list.
You know what the truth? And now I like deals, but the truth of the matter is, I would pay full price for good French fries rather than a reduced price for inferior French fries.
I'm with you on that. Absolutely with you on that.
I would rather not have them at all if they're not going to be perfect.
All right. By the way, Spain has now defeated Belgium. That game is over at the World Cup in Los Angeles this afternoon. Spain scored a goal late. They win the game over Belgium, who eliminated the United States earlier this week, 2-1. So Spain kind of expectedly is moving on. So that's going to set up a titanic game in the semifinals next Tuesday in Dallas against France. So Spain is through to the semifinals. They beat Belgium this afternoon, 2-1. They'll play France for a spot in the World Cup final next Tuesday in Dallas. All right, question of the day. Today is National French Fry Day, and I know what you're thinking. You guys hit all the hot topics on this show. The Belgians and the French have an ongoing dispute about where fries were invented. They became a Parisian dish in the 19th century. Frederick Krieger, a Bavarian musician, learned how to cook fries at a roaster in Paris in 1842 and took the recipe to Belgium in 1844, where he created his business of Fritz and sold Paris-style fried potatoes. All right, so that takes us to the question of the day. And it's not as if we haven't asked this question. We're guesstimating maybe on this date we've done this 10 times in the history of the show. Which fast food places have the best French fries? And secondarily, which fries are overrated? Which fast food places have the best fries, and which fries are overrated? To respond, text those in 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. Let me bring Jed Drenning into the mix from the Mountaineer Sports Network. Former quarterback. Let's go through it, Jed. Tucker County, WVU, Glenville. Is that it?
Probably not. But you're talking French fries, and I do remember I played arena ball with the New York Firebirds, and we went on an exhibition tour of Spain for a month. And the Milwaukee Mustangs went with us. We played 3 games in 4 host cities all around Spain, promoting American arena football. And what I remember is every meal we had for a month. First of all, great food, but they just looked at it as, hey, you're Americans, you like French fries. So it didn't matter if it was breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We had a side of French fries served with every single meal for 4 weeks. So that's definitely something people associate with Americans abroad. Even though it didn't start here, we sure like our French fries.
Hey, man, I didn't know you played arena ball. How long did you do that?
Just that year.
Just that year?
Yeah,
Well,
just that year, yeah.
That's a really great life experience for sure.
Yeah, it was. Some cool guys on that team. Got to see some really cool stuff. Eddie Brown, who's kind of an arena ball legend, was on our team with the Firebirds. But, I got to see some cool stuff over in Spain, northern Spain, all the way down to southern Spain on the Mediterranean. And it was a cool experience. But Beefeater Gin sponsored that tour, and I'm quite certain a handful of us will die a few years earlier because of that. But we made it home, and it was a fun trip.
That's fantastic. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Mountaineer running game. Coop and I were talking earlier about the fact that Yahoo announced yesterday that they're going to have college football, fantasy football this year for the very first time. So I was looking at some of the running backs that are available in the rankings for fantasy college football, and they got Cam Cook from the Mountaineers just outside the top 10. So there's a lot of people that think he's going to have a big year. Are you one of them?
Yeah, well, you're going to start with one word, and that's production. So anytime you're basing something on production instead of potential, it's going to be a different animal. And that's the case with Cam Cook. Not only do you have production as the nation's leading rusher a year ago at Jack State, but this is a guy who spent 2 years in the Big 12 and was productive when he did so. He had 9 rushing touchdowns one year to lead TCU when he was in Fort Worth. And what you're getting with Cam Cook is he's the real deal. Very compact, but vision is his game. Vision and burst. In an age of poor tackling, guys, Cam Cook's kind of the ultimate stress test on a defense is what he is. He's just wickedly difficult to get to the ground. When you get into some of the metrics, it matches up with what you see from him on tape. There's a metric that they track at Pro Football Focus called missed tackles forced, MTF, and it's exactly what you'd think it'd be, pretty self-explanatory. Well, they started tracking that metric in 2014, PFF did. And in that time, since 2014, only 3 backs have registered 100 or more missed tackles forced in a season. Ashton Genty at Boise State, Cam Scatterbo at Arizona State, and last year, Jacksonville State's Cam Cook. He's tough to get to the carpet.
That's a good nugget. So last year, the running backs primarily for West Virginia, Hubbard and Bowers and Jaheim White, they've all moved on. How many touches do you think somebody like Amari Latimer might get behind Cook?
Well, what's interesting is I always have one project, Dave, where I do an off-season deep dive. And my off-season deep dive this year was going back through Rich's history as a Division I FBS play caller, not just as a head coach, but as a play caller. And I wanted to see what roles in the backfield were carried in terms of what percentage of rush attempts each had. So because there's plenty of carries to go around. I mean, on average, when you put Rick Trickett and Coach Rod together, you're going to have almost 600 rush attempts to divide up. So there's plenty to split. You can even have a feature back that gets half your carries, quarterbacks running the ball multiple times, and you can still have guys in years past who get 60 or 70 carries, whether it's Owen Schmidt, whether it's Noah Devine. So there's going to be an ample opportunity for any of those guys behind Cam Cook, and you could start with Amari Latimer. One of these guys are going to have a chance to assert themselves, show production, demonstrate ball security, obviously. And you mentioned Latimer. He's a handful. I mean, he showed at the high school level. He was coveted for a reason. I think he had a great spring. He's still a young pup and still learning, but boy, he is a physical specimen. We have a JC kid in Martavius Boswell that I think you can depend on. We have a straight line speed guy in Christopher Talley that showed some things in the spring. So there's going to be some options there. And a lot of people aren't really talking that much about we got a transfer from Temple who kind of snuck in the spring who has some size to him, and Darius Morant. I mean, he could play a role. So there will be some carries to go around behind your bell cow feature back just by virtue of the fact we run the football so much.
So Cook was on the preseason All Big 12 team offensively that got revealed this week, but Caden Luke is also on that team for All Big 12 preseason as a fullback after being at Arizona the last couple of years. I mean, did you notice him when West Virginia played Arizona? Where do you think he fits in the West Virginia backfield? When's he going to be on the field?
Well, here's the thing about it with Caden Luke. I mean, there's going to be, because he's a fullback and those are so hard to find these days, people jump right to the association with Owen Schmidt, who's everybody's favorite fullback, my podcast partner on down the line. But Owen Schmidt's one of one because he's 6'3", 250, and he ran a 4.6 40. They don't grow on trees. What's interesting about Caden Luke, yes, he packs in at 249 pounds, so he brings the weight to bear, but it's much more compact, the form that he comes in. Lower center of gravity almost at 5'11". And it's interesting when you look at how he was used at Arizona, but also the skill set that he demonstrated in high school. In high school, he led the state of Arizona at Canyon Del Oro High School in rushing with 2,300 plus yards. He can run the football. Absolutely. Wrestling background, a lot of the same discussions we had about Zach Frazier up front at the point of attack on the O-line, you can have about that leverage game being used as a former wrestler like Caden Luke. What Arizona would do with him, bounce him around, they're looking for a lead blocker in different configurations. And that's one of the things that Rich likes to do. I mean, yes, you'll see him in a traditional fullback role, but there's also times, just like we used Owen, There's also times you're going to see him in a big wing. You're going to see him in an offline tight end position. You'll move him around. In a game of matchups, you're trying to set your pieces and set the table to get the matchups and clear the way that best suits you. And with Caden Luke and his skill set, he brings it. I mean, he's a physical kid that will explode. He's not afraid to stare into the fan. I mean, he will smack you. So when you can move him around as a lead blocker, things get creative and fun.
You know, looking at some of the stats that he put up at Arizona, I saw that he did a lot of special teams duties, so I would imagine he's probably going to get a lot of that at West Virginia as well. Hey, you mentioned your podcast, In the Gun. When are you going to be bringing that back?
It's never really left. It's just what happens is in the off season we go to 1 episode a week instead of 2.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we have it right now. Like right now we're kind of in trivia season. But on Tuesday, I believe we're going to have Phil Steele back. We have Phil Steele each year previewing Big 12 and college football games and diving into the Mountaineers. So Phil's debut episode this year, to plug the magazine as well, I think is going to be Tuesday. We have it scheduled.
This coming Tuesday.
And then this coming Tuesday.
Okay.
And so we'll have him back this year pretty regularly. We call it Phil Steele Fridays. Every Friday he's going to be previewing the Big 12 and college football games, the top 25 games. But it never went away. It's just the content gets reduced from 2 down to 1. Once we get back to the regular season, we have at least 2 episodes a week, oftentimes more than that, depending on what else is going on.
All right, Jed. Hey, thanks for jumping on with us to talk a little Mountaineer football. I do appreciate it.
Sure thing. Thanks, Dave.
All right, Jed Drenning talking about the Mountaineers. We talked about quarterbacks last week, and today we focused a little bit on the WVU backfield, which on paper looks pretty good. Let's take a break, and we'll come back. We'll play in or out in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Lucas Gardner, Project Manager 3 at Civil and Environmental Consultants. What makes a career truly rewarding? It starts with growth. At CEC, we nurture talent from the ground up. From entry level to expert, we build careers that matter. Our projects aren't just blueprints, they're blueprints for community success. And with our employee ownership program, you're not just working for CEC, you're investing in your future. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
Hotline with Dave Weekly will return on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows for Talk Line on Metro News Television. Sports Line on Metro News Television.
I was sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? Sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another $1,000 on them tomorrow.
All right, welcome back. Hey, how about that Jed Drenning? That was good stuff, right?
Man, he brings it.
He brings it
to our little show. He likes to. He gives it a little bit of a different perspective.
How about that story about arena football
Great
in
story.
Spain?
Yeah, broadcasters have the best stories.
Good
sometimes.
stuff.
Man, that's
Good
great.
stuff. All right, let's play in or out. Every day at this time, we focus on the stuff you talk about at the office. We call it in or out. The setup, simple. 3 categories: food or beverage, gut reaction. Finally, this one's about a celebrity. The topics of which change daily. Let's get started with food or beverage. Cooper, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Krispy Kreme is partnering with the Girl Scouts to launch its new Girl Scout cookie-inspired dozen, featuring a lineup of dozens donuts inspired by Girl Scout cookie flavors. You got your Thin Mint donut. You got your Lemon Up. You got your Coconut Caramel donut. Krispy Kreme Girl Scout donuts. In or out?
Look, I'm not going to pretend that Girl Scouts haven't kind of lost the plot on some of their flavors here recently, because I think they have. I mean, I think we could dial this down to the core and we could get back onto the brass tacks here when it comes to these things. However, although I'm not a big Krispy Kreme guy, I kind of trust both of these brands here to deliver something that would be pretty delicious to eat. So I'm going to have to be in.
You know what? For a minute there, I thought you were going to go against the Girl Scouts.
No. This is going to be delicious. So how could it not be?
That would have been a bold strategy,
Yeah.
Cotton.
Oh, man, I'm not an idiot. I mean, not that kind of idiot.
Ryan, what are your thoughts here? Krispy Kreme Girl Scout donuts, in or out?
This could have gone so much worse. It could have been like the Minions yellow lemon donut or the Nosferatu mildew flavor donut, but I'm so glad that it's Girl Scouts. Gimme! I gotta be in.
I gotta say that coconut caramel donut. You know, Krispy Kreme's not my go-to, but that actually looks pretty good.
What do you mean it's not your go-to?
Well, I'm a kind of a donut connection guy.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, the good kind.
But I'm gonna be in. Gut reaction is next. Oh, get a load of this. 49-year-old Japanese woman's been arrested for allegedly sewing her housemate's lips together with a needle and thread. The victim, 42 years old, had her lips pierced below the nose and lower lip with a thread passing through the inside of her mouth. She told police she was too frightened to flee before the June 29th incident. Sewing your roommate's lips together, in or out?
Man, this is like a cross between Misery and Single White Female or something, man. I am, totally out. For one thing, that sounds terrible. Number two, this is like visually one of those things I find very uncomfortable. like viscerally uncomfortable. So yeah, definitely out.
She escaped to a nearby shop and silently sought help using a written note to escape. Sewing your roommate's lips together, in or out?
Real weird, real gross too.
Yep.
I can't wait to see the mental gymnastics you're going to do to be in on this. Because, my God, is it difficult to get you to be out on something?
Okay, so you're out. Though,
I'm
right?
out,
You're out. Well, I would say, first of all, you've never met some of my roommates, so anyway, I'll be slightly out on this.
Oh,
slightly out. All right, finally, this
See
one's
your
about
point.
this one's about a celebrity. Oh, original Foreigner vocalist Lou Gramm is retiring from live performing at the end of this year. Did you know he's been out of the band since 2003?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's been out of the band for a while, but he's got a show. His last show, allegedly, these dudes never retire, is December 19th in Illinois. That currently stands as his final show. Lou Gramm, in or out?
I kind of feel bad for him because one of his most well-known solo songs, anyway, probably was "Lost in the Shadows" from the Lost Boys back in the 80s. And Corey Haim slaughters that song on a regular basis, and I think most people know it from Corey Haim slaughtering it more so than from Lou Gramm originally singing it. But anyway, Lou Gramm, hey man, I got to be in.
Yeah. Ryan, Lou Gramm of Foreigner is retiring from live performances. In or out?
They say if you do something you love, you never work a day. But also that means when you retire, you aren't allowed to do the thing that you love, which means you're going to be miserable for the last few years of your life. I'll be in.
I will also be in on Lou Gramm. And those first Foreigner records are bangers, man. They really did well at the beginning. Props to you, Lou Gramm. All right, we'll take a break for news headlines coming right back in a moment. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. We have that flood watch with us through Saturday night, very early Sunday morning. Widely scattered showers and storms. A couple of isolated strong storms will be possible, mainly south into this upcoming weekend. And then heading into next week, it does look drier and warmer. So there's our flood watch again across much of the state through very early Sunday morning. Pockets of heavy rain with some of these thunderstorms, but with the amount of rain that we've had and this lingering front, any additional rain could lead to excessive runoff. Again, there are some isolated severe thunderstorm potential, again, off to the east and to the south, even to the north over the northern panhandle. Again, the wind and hail would be the primary concern with any of these stronger thunderstorms that are with us. Then on Saturday, we'll have some additional scattered thunderstorms. Again, a better chance on Saturday, mainly to the south. Time now for our Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Temperatures will be cooler in the D.C. area this weekend, but showers and thunderstorms in place. Thunderstorms ongoing in Florida. Feels like temperatures there to the triple digits. Our panhandle forecast on Saturday. Readings again into the 80s with those widely scattered storms. 82 in Romney. Moorfield will be at 84 in Petersburg, sitting at 85 degrees. As we head to the south and west, Elkins, Parsons into the upper 70s, Grafton at 79, Clay at 80 degrees, Ripley at 83. So these temperatures certainly not as hot as they were last week, and definitely a little cooler thanks to this shower and thunderstorm potential. Beckley at 76 degrees, Welch 79, and as we head to the north and west up near Charleston, we're at 83 for that high on Saturday. Sunday, again, a few leftover showers and storms, and that chance of rain diminishes as we head into early next week, and we're going to be heating up.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
We cook West Virginian food is how we like to phrase it.
I knew that every time I would hear a story, and I would hear the same story, but it never got old, about what this meant to the family and how it was served and how special it was to be put on the table.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me too.
a great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. 26 minutes till the hour. Oh. Now, we don't have Aristotle Jones. Aristotle Jones is out of the box today, but we will have another segment of Sounds Good West Virginia next week at this very same time. But his show tomorrow morning is still up and running. It'll be on many of these same stations that you listen to our program, including our flagship affiliate, 580 WCHS, tomorrow morning after Chris Lawrence rocks your world with West Virginia Outdoors. Coop, have we got a little breaking news about Live on the Levee?
Well, it's breaking-ish. I think it was just before we went on the air today. But in Charleston, of course, their summer concert series that is on the levee, Live on the Levee. A little bit of messy weather in Charleston today. It's been raining off and on all day, and it's hot out there. So what they've done is they've moved that to be out or to be at the Municipal Auditorium. So that's going to be inside this time around.
Oh, I still like the Municipal Auditorium as a venue. That'll be okay.
Yeah, who is it? It's Chris Jacobs.
Okay.
Chris Jacobs.
All right, so there you go. I want to get into this J.J. Weatherholt contract extension, the details on that in a minute. But as promised, I want to start running down some of the deals that you can get on this National French Fry Day, which is the topic of our question of the day. Today is National French Fry Day. The Belgians and the French have an ongoing dispute about where fries were invented. The question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law: which fast food place has the best French fries? Which fries are overrated? So there you go. There you go. I want to get your take on that. And we got a ton of response to this. You can jump in there, too. The text line here is 304-TALK, 304-304-8255-304. I'm on X at Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, three E's, WEEKLEY. All right, these are some of the responses that have come in on X today. Here's Joey on X. He says, Dave, the Outback has the best cheese fries. KFC fries has risen up. McDonald's, not that good anymore. Okay, a lot to unpack there. First of all, the cheese fries at the Outback are next level. I'll give you that. You got your cheese, you got your bacon. Coop, what would you prefer at the Outback as your appetizer? A bloomin' onion or a fully loaded cheese fries?
Anymore, honestly, probably the cheese fries. I'm kind of over the bloomin' onion these days. I don't know, like last few times it's fine. It's just few times I've had it, I can eat a bite or two, but I'm not really into it all that much. Cheese fries, I think I'd still be into.
I was watching a video the other night about the rise and fall of the Outback.
Oh yeah, I watched that too.
Oh, okay.
After you turned me onto the channel, I watched a bunch of those the other night.
So, have you seen the one about the Outback?
Yeah, I watched that. I think it's the newest one. Yeah.
So that the bloomin' onion basically carried that franchise literally for years. I don't know if I ever told you this or not. When I used to go to a lot of Rays games at the Trop, I used to sneak into the upper deck because right behind home plate, the upper deck at the Trop was closer to home plate than any other venue in the major leagues. Okay, so there was a guy up there. He must have been an original season ticket holder. He had 4 seats in the upper deck right behind home plate, and he had plaques literally on the rail, and with his name on it. So I would go up there and sit next to him quite often. Every time he would go to the ball game with his family or alone, he would eat a bloomin' onion. Every single time.
Wow.
Every single time.
Yeah, those were like a cultural phenomenon at one time. Like everybody had to have one. And like I said, they're fine. I've just kind of moved on past. By the way, I misspoke a minute ago, and I don't know why I said this. I said Municipal Auditorium. It's been closed for a while.
That's what I thought.
And we had a listener that pointed it out, and I just misspoke. It's the Charleston Theater, of course, at the Convention Center, which is sort of what's taking place in the Municipal Auditorium for their type of events. But anyway, Charleston Theater at the auditorium. That's where you're going to be able to find it. Not the auditorium, at the Civic Center is where you're going to be able to find it tonight. If I could get my my nouns straight, we would be in good shape.
The auditorium's still a great venue.
Oh, yeah, man. I wish they could get fixed up for sure.
So Joey talks about the Outback cheese fries. Then he brings up KFC fries. You know, when they went to French fries, didn't people like clamor for the wedges to come back?
Yeah,
I think they did.
I had a couple responses. Bobby Spra from Sales here, she said that Bogey's here in Charleston, that's the barbecue place at the Capitol Market, she said that their fries are great. I've had them, and I remember them being good, so that registers with me. But it did remind me, and I have to give a shout-out to this place because I have before, but to me, they have great fries too, but the wedges at Bowles Brothers Barbecue they're exquisite. They're double fried wedges, perfectly crisp, and they travel fairly well too because they're double fried. I can't recommend those enough. Those are delicious.
You know, when you said Bogies, I thought she was referring to like the driving range.
Oh yeah, well that is the driving range, but they have one in Charleston now. They have a non-driving range version in Charleston, so it is the same place.
Let's see. And Joey thinks the McDonald's fries not that good anymore. A couple more here. Anthony Morgan, Dave, T&L Hot Dogs has awesome fries. The FOP in Nutter Fort used to have good ones, but I'm pretty sure they've changed them. The fast food fries that I like the most are McDonald's and Steak and Shake. The Steak and Shake is good. Steak and Shake is pretty good. Oh, Coos Corner. Coos was on the show a couple of days ago at the Big 12 Media Day, and we appreciate Coos' jumping on with us occasionally. He says, Dave, Wendy's has the best fries, and Chick-fil-A waffle fries are overrated. Their chicken is great, but their fries are just okay.
I'll buy that. I'm not a big fan of them.
I gotta say, you know, I like my Chick-fil-A, but he's dead on with this.
Yeah, they're kind of dry and yeah, I mean, comparatively, I kind of agree.
He's dead on with this. We have a bunch of responses to this. I'll get into the text messages too. But I did want to mention this. So you got time if you're out and about. You may not be aware of this, but there's a ton of local fast food franchises that have fry deals today. Let's start with Arby's. We'll do them in alphabetical order. Arby's through Sunday. Arby's Rewards members can get an extra large order of fries, curly or crinkle, for $1.99 with a purchase of $5 or more at participating locations. Hardee's, today, My Rewards members get a large fries with any purchase. The same deal. So there you go. That's going on with the Hardee's. Checkers and Rallies all weekend, starting today through Sunday. They're offering a BOGO, any size fry deal at participating locations. Five Guys, this has been going on for a couple of days, and it runs through today. Get a burger, sandwich, or hot dog through the Five Guys website or app and get a free little fry. You know, I'm surprised nobody's mentioned Five Guys fries. That's been a big part of their success, or their earlier success anyway. McDonald's, today. Get a free medium fry with a $1 or more purchase using an offer in the mobile app. And Wendy's today, July the 10th, you can find a Wendy's mobile app offer free, good for free fries any size with a purchase of $5 or more. You know, I'm guessing people who are driving around listening to the show in their cars right now getting pretty hungry, right?
Yeah, probably.
That's pretty good. So. I mean, listen, we just ran down special deals for you at Wendy's, McDonald's, Five Guys, Checkers and Rallies, Hardee's, Arby's. That's what I got for you. Okay, JJ Weatherholt. No, he doesn't have to worry about $5 fries anymore. So the Cardinals and Weatherholt have agreed on an 8-year, $112.5 million contract extension. Apparently, the Redbirds like what they see from the former Mountaineer infielder. So, yeah, what a year this young guy's having. I mean, in spring training, if you remember, they were talking about the fact, can he hang in there defensively at second base? He's been a revelation defensively for St. Louis. So it looks like Weatherholt. Imagine this at the beginning of the year. You're thinking, is this guy going to be able to hang? Is he going to be able to transition from college ball, then to the minor leagues, and then to the major leagues so quickly? Now he's got a 9-figure contract, all guaranteed. Plus, he's the front runner to be the National League Rookie of the Year. Not too bad. Now, he is a little bit older than some other prospects, and that's kind of important in his story. He's 23 years old. and is spending the majority of his time at second base. Now, he played a little shortstop at West Virginia, and I think he could probably fill in at shortstop if needed in the major leagues. Let's see. In the ESPN story, I thought this was pretty interesting. Jeff Passan wrote up. He says, because Wetherholt went to WVU, unlike his contemporaries, the structure of this deal is a little bit different. There are no club options in Wetherholt's new contract, which will begin next season, 2027, and run through 2034, and contains performance bonuses that can increase the total value of the deal to $132 million. The deal buys out 3 years of free agency, which who will now reach the open market just before he turns 32. So, Coop, this is a win-win deal for Wetherholt and for the Cardinals. He's getting paid now. I mean, he went into a room today, signed his name on a contract, and suddenly got over $100 million.
I'm there.
Right?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
But then he's also going to hit the market again when he's 32 years old. So, you never know what the future is going to hold. The guy could get hit by a bus tomorrow, but if he continues to play and produce like he is now, he's going to be in line for another major contract on the other end of this one.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That's
so
great.
The numbers for him have been outstanding. 267 batting average. He's played Golden Glove caliber defense at second base. He's an elite base runner. He's been more than the Cardinals could have expected. And according to this story, they're saying that he may be the first true homegrown superstar for the Cardinals since Pujols and Molina. And that's pretty tall cotton, obviously. So congratulations to J.J. Wetherholt getting paid. This story breaking today that Wetherholt, the former Mountaineer, and the St. Louis Cardinals have agreed to an 8-year, $112.5 million contract. Well done. Let's take a break. We'll come back with more in just a moment.
Hotline with Dave Weekly will return on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Of course, the OVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows for Talkline on Metro News Television. Sportsline on Metro News Television.
I was sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? Sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another grand on them tomorrow.
All right, welcome back to the show. About 7 minutes till the hour. A couple more baseball things today. Coop, did you see this this note about Ohtani?
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah.
So Ohtani is out of the All-Star game
And his last start of the first half.
Man, so he's out of the All-Star game. So he's not traveling to Philadelphia. Not going to go.
Yep.
He's got a new kid.
Yeah, inflammation of the knee or something like that. I think.
Yeah. Also, we have got another confirmed participant for the Home Run Derby that will be on Monday. Kyle Schwarber is going to be in the Home Run Derby. Hey, he pretty much had to do it, right, in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
I mean, how could he not?
In front of his home crowd. Yeah, you got to do it in front of your home crowd, I think.
So how about this? What's the possibility that the finals for the Home Run Derby could come down to Harper and Schwarber?
Yeah, I think that's possible.
I'm trying to figure out, how they rank those guys, and they put them in different brackets at the beginning, right? The other thing about the Home Run Derby this week, now I think there's good points and bad points about this. They've changed the format a little bit. Now it's not going to be so much of a timing issue. We're going to be talking about how many swings.
Which is what it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, here's the problem with that. When the guy gets up to the plate and he either gets tired or for whatever reason, he lets 3 or 4 balls go by.
Yeah.
And was that a swing? That I'm not a real big fan of that.
On the other side of that, like I just remember the first time Ohtani participated in the Home Run Derby contest, he wore himself out and could barely lift the bat. Because he was swinging so many times within the allotted amount of time. Maybe if you're able to pace yourself and actually take shots a little more measured. I don't know. The Home Run Derby contest in its heyday was fantastic, like the dunk contest or anything else. But, we're still trying to find traction for it in 2026, I think, a little bit.
You know what, though? We're tweaking it quite a bit.
Yeah.
We're tweaking it. We're trying to make it better and better. My thing is, I wish the polar bear was still in it.
Yeah, he's always good.
Yeah. I mean, he's got, I guess, maybe he just run out of room for Home Run Derby trophies. I mean, he's won it so many times.
What do you think about the polar bear? Like you said, he's not in it this year. Pete Alonso's not in it this year. But there's very few guys in the league right now that you would say, and Kyle Schwarber is probably the top of the list of guys that you sign specifically because they're going to hit home runs. You don't care how much they strike out. I mean, Schwarber happens to strike out a lot, but also walk a lot and is a very valuable overall player. But there's a few of these guys. Pete Alonso, I mean, you want him to hit 250, but you don't really care if he hits 230 as long as he gives you 35 to 45 bombs or whatever it is. I've always felt like those guys are fine for the Home Run Derby contest, but when you get a guy that's more of a hitter that also hits home runs, that sometimes it screws them up. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that was the big bugaboo of the past, right? I mean, there used to be statistical evidence of a guy who did well in the Home Run Derby would automatically go into a slump in the second part of the season because he'd tweaked his swing for whatever reason.
Something happens there. I don't know if it's true anymore or what, but I just always got that feeling like whenever my guy or somebody that I liked was like, well, I mean, he hits home runs, but he's not really the guy that you get up there just to hit home runs. Like it messes with him a little bit. Pete Alonso doesn't have to change anything. And Schwarber doesn't have to. Man, his swing is so compact and perfect. He doesn't have to change a thing with it.
Yeah. It's funny. There's some guys who are previous Home Run Derby winners that we sort of focus on what they did in that competition as opposed to how they were in regular games. I mean, when I say to Josh Hamilton to you, don't you flash back to that unbelievable performance he did in a home run derby instead of thinking about some of the other things he did?
Well, with Josh Hamilton specifically, I'm like, man, he was with the Reds originally.
Yeah.
And after his recovery, it would have been nice to have him.
Well, it was actually with the Rays originally.
Well, yeah. But the Reds had him for a little while before his recovery. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, you remember that electric moment.
So a lot of guys who are in this field for home run derby, we were just talking about Weatherholt from the Cardinals. What about Jordan Walker? He's just had an unbelievable year for St. Louis. Or Ben Rice of the Yankees. I mean, and Junior Caminero, you can't get the guy out.
Now, if I had any issue – now, Caminero is another guy that I think he's a little bit borderline there between being a pure home run hitter and something that does somebody else. Jordan Walker would be a guy, if I was the Cardinals, again, I would be a little hesitant because that's a guy that you've had years trying to get jump-started. Years to get that swing figured out, to get him to get on base, and it's working out this year. He's everything you wanted him to be finally. I don't know that I would put him in the home run derby contest.
The funny thing about Jordan Walker is it seems like, oh, my gosh, he's so old. Jordan Walker's only 24 years old.
I know, but he's still been a project for the Cardinals for years
For
now.
years.
Yeah.
That's true. The other thing, tomorrow, you've got the Major League Baseball drafts tomorrow. So that's going off. And there are some WVU guys. I was looking at the list. There's a list of about 250 players ranked that are available for the draft tomorrow. And there's some West Virginia ties here. Dawson Montesa, he's ranked at 148th from WVU. Let's see. There's a couple of other WVU guys who are in here. Let's see. Kyle Castile, who is a commitment from Butler High in Pennsylvania. He's 191 on this list. So there are some Max Yields on this list at 161.
And, speaking of the draft, it's such a great weekend because you get to see all of the current stars and you get to see all the guys that you're drafting that's going to be stars. They do such a great job of featuring their future stars during this All-Star weekend. For example, with the Future Star game, they do such a great job in putting that in exactly the spot that makes the most sense to highlight these young guys that's going to be future stars in Major League Baseball.
I get your sarcasm.
Yes,
sarcasm
indeed.
so much. I mean, the futures game should definitely be in this window when the leagues are paused.
Yes,
right?
Of course it should. And it should be on a major channel, and they should make a big deal out of it.
I totally agree with that. All right, let's take a break. We're back to wrap it up for the day and the week in a moment.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then before I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop. Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Join Kyle Wiggs, Coach Hunter, and Brett Howe weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for the show today. We thank you so much for listening, sending your answers to our question of the day and more. Stay tuned for the news. Sportsline on the other side. My name's Dave Weekley. I will talk to you on Tuesday. I'm off on Monday. Coop will have the comm on Monday. I'll talk to you Tuesday beginning at 3:06 right here on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Ladies and gentlemen.